early. All this is saying
Ah,
to
what's
me
up?
is
How
that
we doing?
all they want to do is start off 1-0.
Pen's still here. The pen is still here.
Yes, it's one of their best maps and one of SweetNSour's worst.
How's everyone feeling? How are you all doing?
But you've already taken out a sentence split as
I
well.
should stream
and then
chess.
obviously we
Dude,
then
I was
get
thinking the other
Lotus
day that I
from
wanted to
SweetNSour.
like, I
I
guess
like
relearn
Lotus.
it.
I like
And
the
I mean,
pick.
not learn it because I know how it plays,
I'm
but
not too
like
sure why they never
actually try and
for Breeze
like get my
as
ranking
their
and stuff.
first
Because I
pick.
used to play when I was
But,
like
you know,
super
they
young. But I
obviously
mean like
have
really young.
the method in their head. Then we have Sunset, which
So
is
I don't know
Apeks,
much about the
second
actual
map
like
pick.
in-depths of
And then we have Bind.
strats and stuff.
I think this is I don't know. It's so difficult every single time I say this. When you're up against Apeks, I want to say SweetNSour potentially have a game here. When like they can take a game, but then it's Apeks.
Take a game. Do you mean take a game or take a map?
For Apeks is literally their like most played maps to begin with, and then it's slowly going down and down. But we'll have more to show. Obviously,
Larkin, what's up? How we doing?
Icebox, a map that Apeks have dominated on.
I've got Vitality or Giant X.
I
I got Vitality, man. I think Vitality is
the
strong
grand
right now.
finals of the Northern Europe Challengers League. So we'll see you in a few.
NA challenges maybe at one point. Once it like chill, and I need stuff to chill out a little bit. Reprovides. I need some stuff to chill. While we're on a little bit of a break, we are still doing Earth Day. The last one was. I even wanna. What does this actually say? Des never replied to my proposal. No more cereal for you. Now you are getting served divorce papers for breakfast. Holy hell, Des' ex-wife. Well, thank you for the 710. Appreciate that. We're now up to the 3,013. Crazy numbers. So shout out to whoever that was. I guess we'll pass the message on to Desp. Unless he's here. Oh, the fast one. I'm not sure he actually consented to any of it, but who knows? Course commence. Don't worry, man. Yeah, we're cramming in all the Valorant we can this week. Where do I see EMEA teams in global team rankings? Hard for me to put one in the top 5 right now, I'll be fully honest. But it's also because it looks so even in EMEA that we don't have like a set person that's looking great. So am I down on EMEA? Yeah, I'm down on EMEA at the moment. A little bit, yeah. I don't think we... From what I'm watching right now in terms of gameplay level, I don't think we have a team that wins a Masters or a Champs this year. That's pretty much where I'm at. I'm happy to be proven wrong, and maybe like in like a few weeks we see some more dominant or like really strong performances. But when I look at some of these teams, it looks like they have too many weak points. Buffalo Bison with the Prime. Thank you so much for the 5 months, man. I appreciate that. Again, if you want to get involved for Earth Day, which is today, scan the thing next to my head, and we'll be reading out donations. We'll be spamming the Earth, plug Earth, the Slig Earth as well in chat. And yeah, we'll just be bringing attention to it. We've already smashed the goal, so I'm super impressed with just like the number that we're hitting. I think that's wild, so shout out to all of us. I think any team in the world right now is as good as Fnatic were last time this year. Yeah, it's hard to think about that stuff because the meta changed so much, and I think teams are still recovering from that, so it doesn't look as polished as all of last year did in terms of teams. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
All right, welcome back.
I'm not even sure where I stand on that question, honestly.
Going to be
It's a
getting
good
into
question,
the grand
though.
final of Polaris in the Challengers Northern Europe scene. And we're starting on Icebox. This is a map where basically up until like week 5, week 6 of the regular season, Apeks not only were winning this map, they were playing it with 0 defensive side losses. They played 3 or 4 times and didn't drop a defensive round because they were winning like 13-3, 13-4.
With EDG ranking in the EMEA
they've
league.
been on the wrong end, I suppose.
They'd be in the top
already
6.
This stage. I don't think
They'd be in the
Icebox
top
was
6
one of the
fighting.
maps that was played between the two,
My mind.
but right now at least
It depends which one.
Are
we talking EDG without Kang on Duelist? Are we talking EDG when they got Kang on Duelist?
They do run the
I think there's 2 different variations of them right now when I look at them really.
Interested to think.
Tumu 23 with the 2 months. Thank you.
Maybe change something up.
Appreciate the tier 1 though.
Because I feel like as long as they believe in what they've been picking recently, then it should work. And there we are. We see it straight away. Aethan's still on the harbour, which is fantastic to see.
The main farmers
so
at the
kind of
moment,
like a normal comp for
Kayak and Soulcast, really. These two are fragging out heavy.
They've got a harbour as well, and the Yoru, which is one of Kayak's most recent favourite duelists.
He's fun to watch on
the
Yoru.
SweetNSour being able to choose the
Stands on this, man. Don't give me another harbour.
Don't give
me another harbour. I'm not enjoying the harbours on this map recently. Feels outdated.
Typical to how they played this stage.
Liquid had the best stuff
on the attack,
for harbour.
Wanting to lead the pace.
I think other teams could maybe steal some of the Liquid stuff if they wanted to play harbour.
On both sides.
But other than that, man,
when it comes to a player on SweetNSour to really give the game here.
Hello, Ryan. How we doing, mate?
Give them not only their first baby map.
How are you talking and here at the same time? You're doing a pansy.
At all this stage. What player from SweetNSour are you looking at to be the difference maker? Is it the duelist getting the kills? Is it the calling from the IGL? What aspect of SweetNSour needs to be on key for this attacking side?
It's Aethan. Like, when I mentioned this earlier on, whenever I see SweetNSour play, and if Aethan has a slow start to his game, I feel like
I still think the Liquid stuff was better than that. If you actually look at like a lot of the rounds that Liquid have with the with the harbour, it was great.
Similar to Angel. You know, if he doesn't have one of the greatest games, I feel like it then has that domino effect. And we saw it last time that SweetNSour played. Aethan had a fantastic series, and they dominated.
Who do you think the pressure's on more this series, right? Because I think SweetNSour getting here feels like it's enough. Like, people get to see them on like the main stage, top 2 teams in this region, full stop. They're playing up against Apeks. The expectations on them to do damage here.
Why do I feel like there's a delay?
Well, on the other side for Apeks, they haven't really been challenged that much outside of
Gotta get some food before America's done delay.
Maps potentially, but like this is the big games where we see a lot of teams potentially choke. Like, who's gonna feel this more, SweetNSour or Apeks for you?
I think it's quite split. I do think it's quite split. Excuse the pun, obviously. There's no split here, but no, I do think it's very split. I think, like you said, I think SweetNSour making it to this spot already, they kind of have nothing to lose, right? They're already going to get some.
Why do you think Liquid is underperforming?
It
just looks like they're crumbling
against Apeks
in big games.
Then, on the other hand, you have Apeks.
I think that's fair to say. Their defensive split is the one, man. The defensive split is a big reason why they lost every game, in my opinion, so far.
Into this game with pressure,
so it looks like pressure on in big moments, and the fact that their split isn't good on defense.
Yeah, it's
the
tricky.
one.
Well, we're heading to the Icy Barons of Icebox.
What am I thinking? 3-0? Yeah, I imagine so. Things I haven't watched enough of these teams to have like a good sense.
When it comes to anything to do with Polaris,
judging from Apeks'
you're always going to expect these two guys
recent
to be the
scores,
stars.
I kind of have to say 3-0.
It's Hazan Caro.
Thank you so much, guys. Far too kind. But as we're on for another grand final, we usher in a new era of Polaris this time around. Looking at the teams, these two rosters could not be any more different from one another. For Apeks, the question was always going to be, what do you do after Doomsday arrives? That roster, which was destined for ascension, never returning from Berlin as champions. And SweetNSour on the opposite side, well, what can we say about them?
I mean, has
this can take one, most likely Lotus.
To runners up,
I mean, I'll be down for a bit of a fight.
Perhaps runners up in Polaris, they won't want it to be that case. They were the business boys, and they'll want it to be sweet as possible in this grand finals.
Yeah, Apeks, a roster which was rigorously planned down to the very last details, whereas SweetNSour, they only had 2 weeks to practice with their final 2 players which they collected after winning the Beacon split, or coming second in it, I should say, that we spoke about. That qualification ticket, the most important, as the new boys on the block, this is maybe out of their depths.
Yeah, Spruce is wild, right? They're just dominating it.
You're looking at. I mean, we would think towards that last time that these
And I watch other EMEA Tier 2 finals. I don't have rights for anything else, I don't think. I have rights for 2 other leagues. I need to find out who they are. The problem is the schedule's jam-packed, bro. I literally just woke up for this.
Neck and neck with their opponents.
So here we have it. The first match in the best of 5 will start out on Icebox.
Governor, what's up,
Apex
bro?
in a position to create
What's up, man?
history.
Thanks so
No
much for the
team
raid.
has ever won the league before
What's
without
up? What's
dropping a
up?
map
How we
in
doing?
all of EMEA challenges. SweetNSour have already done that. The
Thank you
first
so much,
free
man.
agent
Hope your stream
roster
was
to
good.
make it to a Polaris
Solid
grand
game today,
final
bro.
now has the chance to take it one step further.
Big.
I think it's still the same day.
Here. The Fed him a
I think Ike will play in Tier 1 next year. 100%. Not even a doubt in my mind. This guy doesn't get picked up, or this team makes it. One variation of that. Okay, Apex on defense. SweetNSour on attack.
Damage dealt. The player's still not giving up.
Well, I watch
position
you
just
when you
yet.
go to
Apex
VCL
with a
finals.
monopoly on
Keep it.
middle.
If you give me enough of a heads up, then yeah. And by that I mean like a day.
SweetNSour scale up towards A. That's where the KG's set up. That's where Hype is having to dip out.
How is that the most perfect timing you've ever seen? Send it over towards site. We got 1 molly to delay the plant, and we got 2 people going behind.
They've lost a player here early,
3 people going behind.
The plant can be set up in due time.
Yeah, they've already got a flank as well. You've got to be looking at a reaction from SweetNSour. They have to try.
Yeah, and this guy just hears everything in terms of them taking space behind. Recon confirms that no one's here, and Molsey just needs to wait, to be honest, for the rest of his team to do anything. Wait, I like this idea though.
First headshot lands, but SweetNSour are taking the kills. Defuse beginning to get worked on, not planted for Apen, but damage dealt, and as he doubles up, it's a 3-on-2.
Okay, guys, sign is the...
Molsey with an equalizer. Kayak's feet on spot.
The problem with this was, right, they could see the spike.
And Kayak's already started to do it. Famzam on the drop down. Other side of the cove. Misses the shot, and just like that,
that's how it
Apex
starts?
will get the first round on the board.
Oh man, you can't demoralize him like that at the beginning.
They know that tempo's gone and there can be players on the flank.
You can't demoralize him like that.
Towards the CT space.
He actually gets the defuse. There's no way.
Which they can start to
I'm surprised they kind of fell for this. He faked defuse, right? But then they could see the spike, so you could see that it wasn't going up. But then they didn't need to spam. But then I think you got to consider him going through the wall.
Matchup against OnlyFins in the lowers as well. Apex taking the pistol there, stolen away at the final moments. But what you say, of course, does carry weight. It was a surprise to any of us as much as you.
No way. Oh man, I thought that was the lineup. Yeah, and let's see how much they farm on this one in terms of them buying. I mean, they just straight up just everyone buys. Don't want to get eco'd. We got 4 rifles, 3 rifles. Sorry.
I mean, again, like that's what's good for the double walls. It's just the delaying and being able to use smoke and mirrors.
I know it is the pistol round, but I think it is good that we're seeing SweetNSour already start to manipulate the map a little bit when they're in those kinds of situations, that they don't just sweat and find themselves stuck in position. I mean, that's the tacit thing, the tact that OnlyFins brought into some of those previous matchups is the reason why we
and we might get some farm in here. 3 kills he needs for his ult. 3 people coming his way. That's a lie. 1 person now.
Kayak. Already seen how good he is with a Guardian.
Hey, what though? Recon.
So far forward here, he's just going to be calling to the rest of the team to move on
extra
up.
person rotate. They might get a plant down here at least.
Here, which we know he's capable of. It would be a highlight movie moment. It's going to be a spike planted.
30 seconds left.
Still low tempo. Hasn't been tagged up. Not given much away.
And the shocked up. Yeah, I was going to say the shocked up put him down to 5, and then he does another one on top of it. Played nicely on this one.
At least something for SweetNSour to work off of the next half.
Tempo tries to take his chance, doesn't get it, and the damage is dealt. Famzam on a fadeaway.
Hey, what though? Not too bad. Over's going to be getting a gun upgrade, and Kayak is going to be 1 away. So we'll see if the next round they want to get all. We'll see if SweetNSour are going to do some kind of all punish.
I mean, you've got to take the wins where you can. Mavova making sure to get that outlaw in through to the next round as well, which will be obviously good for holding down one of these lanes.
Doing this during America's Super Week? Yeah, man, we're trying to do it on hard mode, it seems.
At the end of the day.
That's the thing about Apex as well. They're just so
got to check up on Soulcast though, man. See what he's doing
so far. Of course, again, the record last year, 26-1 coming into this. Now,
Tier 2 stuff? Yeah,
the
Cupid's the person to
unlucky
ask
five
for
almost
tier
tasked
2
with
stuff.
bouncing back from the brink because the expectations are sky high, and they have certainly met them or risen above even.
Yeah. Just now though, has is the ultimate games that I'm looking at for SweetNSour.
Everyone buys heavy armor on this one, and I mean that'll do it. Gonna go for the orb and a straight up orb punish. Different variation instead of just util, we just duel it heavy.
Now on the back foot, down 3v2. Hype the only one with a rifle and looking for a fight.
Trying to scrap. The thing is, though, seems as SweetNSour are happy to give it completely free. Getting one back, and well, SweetNSour, Pazza, you know what they're like. They'll scrap if they need to, and on site they're doing so well.
Dude, why is the Scottish accent so sick for casting?
To get it done now. No weapons to get picked up just yet. Still, they haven't got onto the spike, and they're weary of players being left and right and centre, and that's the case. It's Creamy, clean.
Good amount of damage.
Clean from Creamy, and that's exactly what you want when you've only got 3 rifles left. Look at Cash in pocket. Yeah, they had a couple of spike plants, but you want to really fixate the early economy here if you're SweetNSour, especially how damaging it can be to the defenders. Every advantage that you can take has to be levied against Apeks. Speaking
So
of
must have
ultimates,
swing
though,
round in
they've got a
terms of the
couple
money,
their
right?
own now
1-2 in
online.
terms of the
Found
2
out
that
one
went
away
down.
from the Hunter's Fury, but that's going to
Everyone
make little difference.
2-4 on this,
how
can't
these
really
two
buy.
play up against each other. A bit more of a default round, and they're back to middle here on both sides.
Insta ult. Really, we got an insta ult round. Insta ult, and then they discover if anyone's over towards A, they can take a lot of space, and they discover if anyone's middle to pop out and potentially pinch over towards middle. Instant reaction over towards B. Oh, they take down the Killjoy, so they have to be worried about behind. They want to take some side control, really.
Immediately by Apeks, and they continue to move it forward. Ticey, elevated position, open up by
nice round,
Bamsam's
though.
kill. Still 3 versus 4. And
I
look,
just
Ults
think
have come
your
back
ult is
through,
too
but
strong,
Bamsam
to
has
be
his own
honest.
to work with here, as the Reckonings just pushed them further back, but really had any capitalization from it.
But there's a lot of low HPs here, though. Let's hold up. Mozzie still has Cove.
Get the real value from the Hunter's Fury, and well, as the numbers begin to dwindle, it's about protecting the spot, protecting the post plan and the positions that they're at. Apek's going to get caught out, and now it's up to Bamsam. No!
That's unlucky, man. 10 HP. If he had a little bit more confidence here instead of trying to get back behind his wall. I say his wall, Mozzie's wall.
And they walk stage left and make an exit from a round which for a moment looked like it was possible. They had players on site. Apeks flood back in with a Harbor ultimate. Brilliant usage of it there. And like I said, while they may have not got the stuns off the back of it, it did its job. The cascades as well. You're seeing all
When
the
I
different
coach SNS, bro, I
facets of
have
Apeks
no time,
composition
man.
here, because what the stat line
Yeah,
was,
my-
Cairo, in
my
the
schedule
regular
is
season,
too full,
that only
bro.
one other team than Apeks had actually won with double walls, and we'd seen it played plenty of times.
Yeah, it was incredible for so long. The inabilities, and it was the Sage comp that was doing the business in Polaris for so long.
I mean,
Right,
efficiency is the
triple
big
rifle
thing.
in terms of the low buy.
That's
They
something
have
that you
recon
to be
out that
thinking about
doesn't
if
get
you're
shot,
Apeks
so they
as
know
well,
that no
because
one's here, and they block
domestically
vision
dominant
to
as they
create a lot
have
of
been,
pressure.
It's those bigger tests
Apeks,
which we
they're just
need
going to
to see come
insta-drone.
through, and
Yeah, I
Hype
like
has already
this.
got plenty on his plate
Fans
in
the
this
teams
round.
that just insta-clear question marks, especially if the other team is literally just like... Kind of like what
That's a rotation.
Kind of like what
Creamy
NRG
does.
were
You'll
doing
hear
yesterday,
that
right? Where
it's a
they felt
warning
like they
call
were
which comes
clearing
too
question
late.
marks, and
Hype
it was
decapitates
instantly getting
him
cleared
through
like
middle,
this so that the
and
rotate could
SweetNSour
come in. That
committed
was
to the
pretty
B
much
play
the
off
whole
the back
story
of
of
this.
Bind yesterday for Lev
He's the one who's with them. And that Viper Orb just helps SweetNSour scale up further.
Sure. And it's a situation
over
like this as well, where
towards
you don't
the
really want
plant
to be forced
spot
to
to
commit,
break any
because it's that
mollies.
util game I was talking about. Apeks have
And
barely
4
expended
people
any,
here.
and they've got plenty left in the woodwork. Tempo takes them to town, but only 1 kill.
Still, the spike hasn't gone down, and Apeks are just respecting the harbour wall that has gone up. Don't want to cross it, don't want to be
In a
slowed
3v4?
down. There's even going to be
No
the
plant?
reckoning to try and dissuade them from going any further.
And again, you don't want to get caught up in moments like this. Kayak will be arriving in due
Yeah,
course.
they
on
still
the
didn't
flank.
get a plant, and we
They
got
are
to start
starting
looking
react
at
here. As you
Yoru,
mentioned,
who's
time
taking
is
a lot of
sensitive,
map
but the
control.
spike will be planted.
And
this is when the flank begins
someone's
to
got to
arrive.
win an
Apeks
individual
fighting on
duel in
multiple
these
fronts, but
areas,
by
and Kayak is
themselves.
just about to get him, right?
So all the players are
Oh,
out
man.
towards
One
Snowman.
enemy
Well,
remaining.
that's exactly what's going to happen to
They played
SweetNSour.
this
They
so
start
well.
to
Dan, they
melt
played this
and
situation
melt
very well.
away. They do not even a chance.
Bro, Apeks
to
must be the
get a kill
one for tier
towards
2. Like,
Apeks
for all of the
after that spike goes
VCT,
down.
EMEA teams,
it kind of looked
man,
like
you
they
just
were
want to
trying
practice
group
this
up
team
and
non-stop,
find some
surely.
extra space. You had the Reckoning come
Obviously,
through,
dependent
but
on like comps,
the two
if people
players
don't, they play
chased
some
up
weird
by
comps,
it
but
through middle and
you know
yeah,
they're not
the
in
snow
in
pile,
your
right? I
league,
guess
so you don't
that's
have to
the area
worry
you call
about
it,
like
Icebox. But no,
playing them
nothing
later
going.
and having to
Big
not
opening
show
kill here
strats.
as well, and as I said before, it just pushed them to make this B play, which thinned the numbers out, and yeah, Kayak on the flank as well is always going to be very useful there. Even had the gate crashed.
What's my prediction for this? Honestly, I just think it's a 3-0. But again, I don't know
What are we
enough
thinking?
about the teams to even
About
have a
SweetNSour.
valid opinion
What happens
at
after
all.
this round as well, has it? Are they feeling a bit frustrated? I mean, it seems if the rounds that Apeks are winning have been won without really sweating too much.
I mean, the wheels can
Okay,
quickly
big buy
come off,
rounds.
but
We've
we
got a
do need to
Viper that's been
reiterate,
spammed down
Apeks
low.
pick.
We're
SweetNSour
kind of
stopped
close to
playing it
some
after
ults,
week 4
but
when they lost to Hookahs. The upper bracket
problem is
advantage
it's
of the
like
double veto is pretty huge. And
you can
see the
Killjoy
wall they're
ult and they
starting to
can
use it,
Sova ult, but then you can
threatening
kill
the
the Sova
possibility, the
ult, so you
pressure of
kind
a
of don't want to
player
Sova
yellow.
ult, so
Kayak
Apeks
is
massively
there.
in control in
This one
terms of
starts,
ults.
however,
And this is
seeing
nice from
that turret. Those
SNS,
there's
and
at
there
least
goes the
one,
low
and that would be
HP,
the second
and
player
I'm
pretty
pretty
down.
sure that was just a spam through smoke, and that's a lovely shot to sight though, so big question mark created over towards, big question mark created over towards B, and Kayak kind of stayed here so long that his original TP actually faded, and that is way too much on your own.
The hand, way too early. We said maybe there might be some discipline issues on the
Yeah,
Apeks
for a
side.
3v3.
SweetNSour, it's probably the last thing you're thinking of. A mistake made there though.
Ooh.
And a 3-on-2.
Whoa. Surely not.
Have used the Hunter's Fury. Wolf is just holding. Finally, it's going to be Apeks.
Dude, he's got it half though, and this guy has Wolf for vision block.
Mosey now into the clutch. Still got Harbour utility to stop players.
Holy, imagine this one. That was one of the weirdest sticks that I've ever seen in terms of on the rope. I thought he was just going to do the one where he's just like on the box, but
We say that
not
he's been
entirely
the
sure he
point man
meant
of
to
this
go on the
side
rope.
when playing a role like Sentinel.
Did look a bit
first
like it,
player
though.
in on so many of these rounds. They don't seem to be putting too much of a highlight on keeping map pressure everywhere else. It's like we can send Tempo in as a duelist if we want.
Yeah.
He was historically a flex player, but the role that he's filled here has been done spotlessly.
Okay, so money-wise, they lost 3 people, so they could get reset. But honestly, money's pretty low for Apeks as well, so this is a big swing round. Still the same ults, still wanting to fight heavy A.
Actually disrespecting the Harbour utility.
And I mean, SNS are just doing SNS are just doing what they can in terms of Icebox, right? It's been a lot of question marks created one site and then go the other site. Similar thing on the round before, similar thing here. Creating a lot of pressure over towards A, question mark here early, all to make it look like we're hitting the site and then just straight up hit B.
Nobody follows it up.
So I'm enjoying how they're trying to
The rest of the
play the
players
map
are
at the
already on
moment.
B, getting the spike down. We're seeing a Bova
What a shot, man.
trying to get through. At least it's a trade.
Yeah, and they got a Sova
Not
ult out of
getting
them.
the bolts connected as they would have liked. And that's going to be easy enough, but there's still delay
Look at that.
going on
That's a
here.
nice molly
Not having
lineup.
a spike to go down from SweetNSour.
And do they want to Killjoy ult? Because probably not until they get a pick.
Both IGLs in their
Could
debut
insta-cove
season for
this.
challenges, and Multi's
Oh,
Harbour so
man.
far
Okay, they
has
do.
looked pretty damn good in
Killjoy
these retakes
goes
with
in, and a
lockdown
lot is on this guy
beside
because he
it.
can molly the
There's
spank.
absolutely nowhere to run if you're SweetNSour. Creamy trying to take the duel. Code now
Yeah, they
broken.
did
Players
good.
on the other side shattered.
How are we gonna do
Vital
this?
Have his way and a little bit of space off the back of 2 detains. Reposition
Okay, and does he
mid is gonna be
consider that the other
insurance
person's gone
policy,
behind?
however.
Looks like
With
it.
time ticking down and Famsam yet to be revealed. It's a
Dude, Apeks messed up a
two-pronged
little bit here.
approach which
Multiple
SweetNSour
ults.
can dislodge this clutch, and they should do.
They should. Just pinged away, time's too low, and it's so well played from SweetNSour in the end. And they've burned through some pretty
Yeah,
big
and
ultimates
honestly-
from
honestly,
Apeks.
they're playing, like,
They've got
really
some
well.
value out of their own. I think that's
They
the
are-
biggest,
they're
biggest
wrecking
thing
with the
for them
rotates at the
coming
moment.
Out the back of that as a Hunter's Fury and Lockdown being used by Apeks, and they're in the probably the
This guy
midst
did
of
great.
their own ultimate cycle with 3 available.
It's a really important conversation.
Bit of
to
stuck
have
here.
as
Yeah,
well,
I'm
because
pretty
on the
sure. Like
surface, you look at
talking
it,
the
a crop
1v3
of
when he
3
detained.
players with that VCT
Pretty confident the Jet
experience,
might have been
others
too
towards
far away,
challenges,
especially
making names for
fusing in
themselves,
front.
You know, in different regions.
So yeah, I
But
think
SweetNSour, unknown to the
the
casual
split
viewer,
second decision
think
making
about
was a
them, though,
little bit
because they
off,
can
to be
shoot.
honest.
So it
I
comes
agree,
down
I think
to
it might have been a
brass tacks,
stick.
to ultimates, to utility usage, much more than anything else in my eyes.
Turret being taken out, pressure being put on mid. It's hype to hold down with a Marshall. Unfortunately, their head is just so cleanly taken out. A wall banged through the wall.
That is typically how they come, Cairo.
Yeah.
But jokes aside,
Cheers, mate.
it's a good opening kill, an untradeable one at that.
Yes,
And
exactly.
you look at Kayak's position as well. Even if he TPs back towards B, not going to be in a point of contention by the time the A push comes through. They have stack numbers here though, and SweetNSour will realise that as the ult goes off.
All goes in, just trying to make it clean against the ecos, get some money for the rest of this half.
What is eco rounds? And this time it's just going to clear out the site.
Yeah, I haven't hated the harbour util, which is nice.
Mistakes being made. Spike goes down easy enough.
Again, you want to see them keep it clean here. You've already lost tempo. Ticey down to 300. Sure, Blades in pocket. But Apeks will be looking to build towards some ults here. Perhaps your Kayak was 2 off. He will be 1 now, but for all the wrong reasons. Ticey's dealt with the flank, so all focus can be turned. Still thinking about the possibility, because in these retakes, Apeks
I mean,
have been
they want to
happy
die anyway,
invest
so they might as
multiple
well
numbers
just try
towards
and
the rear end.
cove, maybe get half. Oh my goodness.
Maybe even get half. Lovely shot.
Yeah, might be able to get a half of a cove
But
here.
is that all it's going to be?
How's this guy still alive?
Just an extra kill for the highlight reel that seems
Going
to
for
be
it.
has it. It will just be
Not
Wolsey
anymore.
to hold on and die to the spike. They don't want to give any more ultimate orbs away.
He was
to their
tempted.
opponents.
Yeah, mental clock on both sides. Mulsey was thinking about the
Right, pretty good run for them in terms of
possibility
3,
jumping on the
maybe an
spike
armory
there,
buy. I don't
maybe
want to see it,
snatching
I'm
a
going to highlight
defuse,
it.
Buying some space for Soulcast to do something, but not happening this time. And
Wood creations, hello
Bleach
mate.
will miss it.
I will
We're
be
at a
fine, it's so
scoreline
good,
of
dude.
4-4. SweetNSour have really managed to stabilize themselves.
I
in
got
this
pretty
opening
lucky
map of the
yesterday. The
series.
I mean the 2-0, 2-0,
time
and
in this map,
with Lev
Kayak
speedrunning
introduces
NRG,
the
I got a lot
off.
of sleep, so
Something
we're in a pretty good spot right now.
Off the back of my head, I haven't seen too much of that I can think. It usually prefers to rifle.
I mean, that's the thing about Kayak as well. He was predominantly a jet player. I was unfamiliar with his game coming into this, having known about him
Okay,
for a
no
couple
armor
of years
rebuy,
as well,
so
right? Like, he's been
that makes me
active
happy. And
since
we go for
2021,
a
but
change of
these overall
pace
picks,
real
which look
fast
good for him
towards
so
middle
far.
as well.
SweetNSour
And
very
this is a
direct, keep it
lovely
simple through
wall.
middle, however, hype up close first fight, and he wins it.
Ooh,
And
okay,
Mulsey
but
will
Jack can
too.
still.
But it's Ticey, you've got to be
Ah,
worried
it's a lucky
about
man, he
the
had to get that.
right-click Kaza. That's when it goes wrong. Tempo the other side of the map with not even a chance to get close.
I wonder if your
And
guys
now
are
this is
walking
the
up here if you
operator.
should be
It will
running
steal
this.
the show in a position like this. Famsam's
Right,
actually
if
found
your
an
teamer
angle
is about to go
get
to this,
past.
right, you're going into a potential
retrieval mission of
crossfire.
the
I
spike,
think
that's
even
the
though
bottom
like you
line.
want to make a play, these guys
With
even have
turret
to chill
down,
in this area, right, this
There's a moment
box,
here where Apeks aren't exactly thinking
and
about
just
it.
pretty much just
Is it gonna
hold,
be
right? You
on
can just
Mulsey's
hold for
monitor?
this
Is he
and
gonna
this
spot the
essentially.
head? He hasn't! He's already
Oh my
crossed! Famsam, no way! He wins that fight!
They're not going to win this though, right? Because Killjoy's in a pretty good spot and places a Lambot down. Not the best plan for Killjoy because it's going to duel back.
Looking and there it is. Into the clutch, Famsam goes.
Not like this, Cairo. Not like this. Famsam's found clutches before. Missed shot Kayak invites an
Okay, yeah, I
extra
think something had to
kill,
change there
but
because like
nothing
either
more to be
these
claimed
two
on the
need to slow
SweetNSour
down
side. So
or
just
the
as
Jet needs to
soon as they
tempo
get
up.
up and running,
And
level out the
I mean,
score.
I
Apeks
kinda
have
don't
one
care
more
which.
to push themselves back in front, but it didn't come easy.
No. Hazard, your heart's in your mouth there. Your heart is in your mouth. Ah, the damage being down low too.
you think the main issue of NRG yesterday, bro, they just got outplayed like big time. I even think their game plan on Sunset, or at least like the brief setups that I saw on the minimap to kind of indicate how they wanted to play looked pretty good. This is a fact that Lev completely wrecked them on Sunset. I'm telling you, with how they played Sunset, I think they would have beaten every team. I don't even think a team would have got more than 8 rounds from what I saw. It was like one of the most perfect Sunset defense sides I've ever seen. And then in terms of the one thing that did really snowball everything was the pistol though. Like the 3v5 pistol, that's where it all went wrong for sure. But everything that's like the one thing that maybe teams should be capitalizing on. Like the only thing that was like off slightly from NRG was like the one round that they could have won out of the whole game. And then Bind, they just really misplayed. It was like what we saw from some of this where like Lev would create a question mark and then NRG clear it. No, other way around. NRG would create a question mark, Lev clear it, 4-person stack.
Suddenly under the microscope.
It was just that the whole time. Like it was actually a lot of like the calling, to be honest, in my opinion.
them that are or him that's stuck in jail with
You would
SweetNSour,
check
it's
this though,
SweetNSour
right?
that
50
is stuck in
seconds?
this
Maybe not.
position
Oh man,
with
how
a
many?
Volva
1, 2,
doing
3?
all the
3.
steps. The player's not even checking, and a Volva going huge.
3, that's huge, man.
Something back, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be the
Solid
case.
pause.
Apeks will reach 6.
Cheeky little moments like that make all the difference.
And
In
on the
maps like
defense
this,
side, they're
a
doing
Volva
pretty
with a bit of
good.
his own,
And
but he
I mean, they
decides
can still
better of it.
force 2
Up
people
close
take a
and
hit. I
personal,
think this is a
both him
fine
and
map to
Mulsey.
force. You're on the
Two
easier
eldest
side. You don't have enough
experienced
rounds.
players that
You
get
gotta force
coming out
double
of that
stinger,
core
just
of
hit A or
VCT.
something. Yeah,
Appearances
I would just buy
last
double
year.
stinger force because if you
And
get into
with that,
sight, you're
SweetNSour
fine. These
call
3
their
can be
first
guns.
timeout. Again, for those watching who perhaps aren't familiar, there's no coach. There hasn't been, and I don't know if there will.
I mean, as the question is with all the personalities on the team, how would a coach fit into that? You know, like respect to the guys though, because like you've got to be thinking. We mentioned it on the desk, or like kind of the casting.
Watched
desk
Finisher in the
before
Sun
we
suddenly
went
point
to
out that
game,
NRG structure
where they
extremely
used to be,
readable
like,
from
the
an
unsung
IGL
puzzles,
perspective.
a
Yeah,
team
potentially.
where it was
I
never
just think
really
that
to be considered in the,
I mean,
like,
they
the
were
Division
just they
1
definitely
or
had the
to
reads.
get
Yeah.
promoted, you know.
They just got.
And they've
It felt like they
came so
couldn't get
far
any
since
map
then.
control.
They
they
are
were just
the
getting exec on.
underdogs. You look
Yeah,
at the
he's-
playoff bracket
he's right
here
with that.
anyway. 3 of the teams came from
I
that
mean, even
event last
even
year.
Sean
So
was saying that
if
they like
anything,
played very
it does
similar to some of their
corroborate
other
things a little
sunsets.
bit. It confirms and justifies their position in the league. But again, Apeks in a
Who's
league
the
of
favorite
their
in this
own.
game?
It has
Apeks,
been a
for sure.
very top-heavy season for them.
All right,
SweetNSour
big rounds.
finally dig into their
They
pockets for a mixed buy here.
Don't
That is what they've
force,
got to
but they
work
can at
with
least buy
coming out of
next
the
in. It's an
60-second
okay
break of
low
play.
buy.
We're starting to get towards the end.
And even though I've
of
been
the
liking their map
half,
control,
those
I wonder if they
ultimates are
just
gonna start to be
sometimes
forced to use.
sometimes on
And
Icebox I
die
swear you just
for
have to
one reason. You don't
accept
get
that it's a
second
busted
chance,
map
you
and
know?
just try 5A all the time.
Apeks using the same wall every round as well, right? High tides towards
Yeah.
B.
I still love like the old
Have
G2 game
your
plan that they
toxic
did for like a
screen on A.
whole year, which was
Drone isn't
just
gonna have enough
we'll
clearance
just
to
go
fight
A
tempo
for
here,
the
so you
first
can
like
tuck in
7
the
rounds
corner
until we lose 2 in a row.
and we'll remain
till we
pertinent in
lose
the
at least
round
one.
because SweetNSour have been using him quite
This is
a
nice
lot
at the
as an
moment. Again, they
asset
have been
towards
playing
that
the map
right-hand
well,
side of the
like
map in their late
methodically in terms of setting one up, either question marks over
Wondering if
towards
they
here or
fully
this one where they
followed
insert
through
one
with
over
B,
towards
however.
A,
The drone's
try and
already
create pressure over
spotted
towards
Kayak,
B,
and that is his
listen
key
for a
for
road,
sure.
take a timing on A. Like so in terms of like actual macro, they've been playing it well. It's just
Line up just as easy as that. Kayak
Okay.
comes through.
Wait, that's a big kill. Killjoy, now means that a lurk over towards middle could be possible. Yeah, I think you take that win all day.
SweetNSour any more space.
Yeah. I mean, over 30 seconds wasted. Second ball comes up and
No TP.
dropping back into the lines, and Kayak maybe considering going on a clearance mission of his own. Spots the barrel.
Yeah,
knows
he's
that
got it
there are
all
fights
here
to
to
be
get out.
taken, and yeah, dismisses himself from this one. In terms of value from the rest of the ult, they're going to
Keep an
combine
eye on,
the back of
the-
it, and there are bodies on the line on the Apeks side.
Yeah, that's what
Is it gonna come in too late, Killjoy on the luck?
At
least one.
Not a chance, but
Yeah, and I don't think they can even get a plant.
Swipes the players. A Volvo looking to re-clear. The Sheriff not quite working the way Temple would want it to. And Apeks finally confirm the advantage to take into the next half.
Last round in the half.
That's what they were speaking about on the desk as well. Apeks on their
Can we watch some
defender's
cat
side.
videos? Bro, you've been watching too
Not
much
very often that you're gonna see
America's
them
broadcast,
lose
man.
out by a factor of many rounds at all on Icebox. With double walls, perhaps that's, you know, a symptom of it, I suppose. SweetNSour have got a similar hand to play themselves, but it's once Kayak gets up and running, like we saw in the previous
Last round,
round,
let's see what we got.
off the back of Mulsey on the attack. It could look dangerous. They need to do themselves some favors here, SweetNSour.
Yeah, I just think to simplify it, man. Just simplify what you're doing. Or frag out together. They've been hitting some shots in this game, so. Like this from Apeks, do aggro over towards A, we set one person up. And does he push past the line? He does push past the line so they at least know, so maybe they'll speed up a little bit. And with this information of the turret going down, does mean that they should expect a 4-person stack here. And we see that classic where we put the ult before the plant, and how many times have we seen this fail?
Tempo late through middle with no spike plant yet inside the fumes.
So much delay.
They double up.
Well, you can't plant here.
Try and contest
Vova is
it.
taking a
Defumigate it is your
massive
mainly
risk,
Hazard, but
but
as I was telling you,
Might pay off.
B site is really being stunk up by either two.
Yeah, teams need to really stop going for ult before they plant. It is not the one. I think out of the whole season so far, I've seen one round one where they ult and then they go plant.
Nothing of the sort.
It started to
And I would
feel
say
like
I've seen
maybe
it
the
like
60
15
seconds
times maybe.
worked better for the team than actually had someone in coach slot. Funny that, but 8-4 is how it will finish.
The white
And
line
like
at
you
the
say,
bottom. Dude, I'm not even
Apeks
sure why that's
hanging around
there.
that kill feed like a bad
There you
set.
go.
SweetNSour, a pistol round this time does feel like do or die. And even looking at the score sheet as we swap halves, Famzam 14 and 7.
Why is it a bad
stepping up
ult?
to the
It just
big
gives them
game.
too much space.
Everyone
Imagine
else
vision
less than
blocking.
6
Right,
kills
imagine.
or,
So
you know,
ignore the
off.
actual ult for a bit and just
exactly.
imagine like
We were
vision
talking
blocking
about
this.
beginning, the stat
Right,
line coming
and
into the
you
game
can only
was
plant in
Ticey
this little
being
square.
2 and 5
How
and
nice is that for the
Jones
other team to just know you
hasn't
can't be
generally,
jawed
like,
from this
hasn't been
area
at that
anymore.
kill feed at the start
Right,
of
you
the
can only
round
be
either.
jawed from here. So all you have to do is just focus on one pause and have one
Apeks
person looking for a
attack.
run out, and they don't want to really run and run out.
Utility belt players can't get
Majority
out
of
as
the
quick as
time,
they'd
like,
all focus
You
turn
don't have
towards the
flashes on this.
middle,
I mean,
but that is
literally,
where
you've got to
Kayak
look at this
makes his
comp as well. They
entry,
don't have
busts
flashes, so they're
down
never
the
worried
door
about anyone
with
to push
2
through.
kills, and
Like,
it's
you just
already
give the
a
other
5
teams so
on
much
2.
space to just spam
This
you
one
down
perhaps a
and
write-off,
get into the
and
best positions
it's
to
come
prevent
down
the
to that
plant.
first engagement.
Yeah,
You got to ignore the actual like
I
decay
mean,
for a little
you
bit and
look
just
now
think
going
about
to an Apeks
what does this
post-plant
actually
where they're
cut
well
off in
and
terms of
truly set up.
vision.
You know how they swing off each other. You know what the importance is put on. It's fundamentals, and you see it right here. All 3 players.
Yeah, it
It's
might be a
almost
short
like
one with
the
this one.
Australis stat, and Apeks make it look so easy.
Yeah. Another
Did NRG play
Northern
bad yesterday?
organisation.
I'm
But
only
this
down
one,
to say they played
again,
bad on Bind, really.
the
I still think their
flag bearers
sunset.
for
I don't know.
Norway.
I just think-
Despite the fact there are no Norwegians in the
I can
server,
understand why people would say they
Moderation
played bad
went
on
out
the
a little
sunset
too
as well, but
early
I
and they
just
still have
think they got
relegation in
fully
the base,
outplayed on
we
it.
won't
But they
mention
played
that
bad
for
on
now.
Bind, no doubt about that.
Metasport the only other ones to come close, but the big thing to be said about Apeks, organisationally as well, and as a team, only twice in the 5 splits of Polaris that have been played have we seen a team win the regular
Wafre,
season and
thank you,
fail to
thank
win
you.
the playoffs. Right, Apeks have done it every time. Sure, you had the head-to-head with Lupetti Buffon, but both on a scoreline of 6-1, and Alliance as well.
Why is Yoru so
only
popular right now?
exception to
He's in a
that,
good
where they were
spot, mostly
instantly
because of Sky
eliminated.
going down and
Apeks
Jet.
already with
Jet
2
raised
series under
nerfs.
their belt come into this with the most
There's a mix
confidence
of
you could possibly ask
one of
for.
the best Flash agents getting nerfed and 2 of the kind of other duelists.
Ticey, I mean, it's got
A strong Flash as well.
Oh, hang on.
A very good agent, man.
Through the wall, but it's Apeks now finally coming through with the rifles, Hazard. The players are trying their best,
on.
but it's not working out.
Oh, I don't
I
wanna
tell you
settle
what
the
though,
fate of
they're
this
doing
round
good
just yet
damage, and this
because
gun picked up.
Malsi takes a load of damage from
Yeah,
the
I love
utility,
this
as does
call,
Hype.
but-
Soulcast is still standing.
Okay, I
and
thought the Jet was going to
healthier than
send it.
the rest.
Oh, okay,
That's
Jet might
perhaps the
still
most
make it.
worrying part, but
2 people
Ticey's
one shot.
Marshall,
Take it. Oh.
maybe fancying another pot shot through the smoke, won't get a chance for it.
Yeah. Wait, this is bold from
Previous
Soulcast, the only
rifle's a
person with
big
high
thing.
HP. Okay.
Soulcast, more information taken in tow. How does SweetNSour want to approach this? Do you want to try and maybe throw that rifle?
50-year-olds
I mean,
only
you-
need like
you're gonna
6
have them
hours
up in the
sleep a
next
day, right?
anyway.
Okay, bro.
I mean, why not? Why would you not
Okay.
send it, Hazard? I think SweetNSour are just being sure to check mid. Nothing there to be found as of yet. The alarm bot to give notification that there's someone in the screens.
Yeah.
But as you've already mentioned, Hazard, Apeks players, they're really low.
Well, Tyson's got to make this Marshall work because he may be without money.
Wait, that was a high HP.
Vandal that is the mainstay, the big piece. Soulcast gone, both remaining players low. But ratty as ever, Hype takes a quick kill and gets out of
Hey, it was a
dodge.
nice attempt on this. It
Multi
is good
cleans
damage.
up, and with that comes
Be
double
pretty happy.
digits for
Problem
the
is they
orange and
keep
blue.
2 guns and they can
I mean, I
rebuy
guess the
2
other
guns,
aspect of
so
bringing that rifle into play
do
there,
too much,
Hazard,
but-
is that you're gifting it back to Apeks. That's exactly the case, and now we're starting to look at their bonus round, and it's a bit more dangerous than you would like if you're SweetNSour at 10-4. That's a very important round. If you lose this to what is a very good buy for Apeks,
I don't know what Team Som is joining. I mean, they're both joining content creator stuff for sure.
Position that you never
Who
want
knows?
to be in.
Picking America's org and
Best
then...
of 5. The only one that you get.
I mean, I
in the
imagine one of them
competition,
might
in
be
the
like
league,
G2
in
or
the
something. I
split.
don't even know. G2, 100 Thieves, Sentinels.
How much more are we going to
Take a
see of
guess.
SweetNSour's map pool? Can they extend it past the 3rd map and do what we haven't seen so far? That's the question on my mind.
Look at the teams that don't have big
after those
content
first
creators.
4
It'll be
wins,
one of
they
them.
really slowed down the pace. Have they reinvented themselves enough to be competitive against the league's very best?
I mean,
Is
Hazard,
Killjoy try and take a timing here.
Apeks
I'm interested in
are
this
the
as
very
well.
best,
They go for
and
the
there's been
NA buy.
nobody to even really say that they're second. Kayak, just showing how good they are. The best
Yeah, and
duelists in the
Killjoy
league.
might be able to get a
Apeks
kill on
still
A
waiting for
here,
a
and oh
reaction, knows that
boy,
someone
this one
else
fell
is
apart
gonna try
fast.
and trade back. And it's actually elsewhere on the map, on the A side, that even
Yeah, he tried to take a timing over towards A, and I mean, it was the right choice. Ult goes in.
That's the thing.
Gonna
with
see
SweetNSour,
1-2.
it's
That's
always
enough
the next
info
player
for
to
them.
come in. A
3.
question
Well,
of
there we
when,
go.
not if. Kayak spotting out a little bit of information here, back through his own cove. Now Ticey needs to be the duelist that captures the headlines, but instead
Damn, Soulcast. I mean, really pays off in terms of the NA buy that he did buying into this one.
From roll
Yeah, and
to
they just-
roll, the regular season MVP
They did a full buy round,
rolls out the
and
punches and the red carpet towards a first
everyone's
map
fragging pretty
win.
decent.
I mean, that's the difference between Apeks as well. It's the minor details, the smaller.
Left when it was
points.
4-3,
Like, for
yeah,
instance,
it
every
became,
single time SweetNSour used the cove to
became
plant
pretty
on
dominant.
the default spot. Apeks, they use their cove hazard to actually plant in a more open spot. Put the pressure on SweetNSour to try and get
Cats
onto
or
it, and if
dogs?
they do,
Maybe
I mean,
hamsters.
it's
I
just
prefer
free
cats
fun,
to
I guess.
dogs.
Yeah, it's
I
these
think
little details,
mostly
and
because
you sort of see it as
and
well. When you
with
can hear
as
the
much as I
comms of
watch
the
Party
players.
Man,
Of
I
course,
couldn't
we were in London
couldn't be
for
going
an
for like
event
3
the other
walks
day,
a day. I
and
don't have
something
time
that
for
I
that.
picked up is
And
just
cats
little
can
things
just
like
go do their own
if an
thing.
enemy player's taking
I need
an
the low
orb and
maintenance.
coming, oh okay, it's this player, that means we know that there are this many towards this site. Like the details, the finer things that it's hard to think about when you watch it from a third
Hello, Des,
person
how we doing?
perspective. Apeks do all of that. We know that.
I
We
mean, it was-
expect that of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was when I found out that apparently each agent have individual
Different
footsteps.
yeah.
It's insane.
I was gonna say.
I mean, I guess everybody knows about KO. Guy needs some
Yeah,
WD-40.
He certainly does. Walking straight back into the workshop. Those busted ass metal shoes. Ticey has to
So
do some carpentry of his
take
own.
B
Be the
control,
creator of
cut
some
sounds,
chaos.
create
Another
pressure like they go in
Marshall
anywhere
in
on the
play.
map,
They're lining up
and
behind the
then
wall.
just
but
re-hit
he's
once
yet to
potentially
pull the
the
trigger.
over-rotate
And
that
again,
came
it's
in
just
once
that
they took
threat
original map
of
control.
this pop back out from the other side
they
that
did,
Apeks always have, and they do.
as
The neutral
rotated
combo
off.
towards the deep side, Creamy.
And that's a
Under
lovely
hot
molly
water,
though.
and
This
he
molly
will drown.
here with the wall up,
That's it.
meaning that you have to
Spike
kind
is
of take
down.
a
Again,
angle,
the numbers of
right? You have
Apeks
to
just
go either 1 or 2 here.
dominate, tower
And either
over.
way, you're taking a
Yes,
duel
so
that you don't want to take, and
This
most
time,
likely you're
Pipes
vulnerable.
Lurk has not been cut out from middle as well, so he can have big
Yeah,
impact.
they're all
and
over
already
them, bro.
does.
Yeah, there goes Temple. Ticey trying to swing out, and will win that against Tight. Whether that's anything to go up with the time ticking down is another thing.
What's my average steps per day?
Two
Oh, bro, I
rifles
dread
of
to think.
SweetNSour
Not enough.
Can't begin to work with the clone being an issue, and still they're not truly on the spike, just spamming through, and well, it's going to be one.
Yeah,
sprint
I mean, honestly,
that
that's one of the
takes
reasons I
it
take
to
so many breaks,
Soulcast
man. Try and
to
walk
put the
around a
cherry
little
on
bit.
top.
Yeah, the two highest rated
So my body
players for
doesn't ease
ACS
up or something.
in the tournament
Okay,
as a whole.
8 chances
combining
to
and
close this one.
sharing the
I don't think
kill
this one's
feed
getting
once more.
low,
The Apeks
really.
juggernaut
Apeks,
has ran through
I
this
mean,
map in
it's
the
8
end.
in a row.
That's another thing that we can say about them. Just as soon as you start to get excited that there's an upset on the horizon, they bring you back down to the harsh
When do I hit the
reality,
gym?
and
The
that
gym
is
at the
now their
moment
8th
is
round in a
after
row
EMEA games,
to lock
if we're
in,
lucky enough to get a 2-0 in there.
that SweetNSour will
Otherwise,
have
the
to
gym
try and
closes
recover
out here.
anything from this first
So
outing
I
in the
need
grand
in
final.
EMEA. I'm secretly hoping for
Norwegian
1-2-0,
dominance
just
since the
because
start
I want
of
to go
last
gym.
year, and it will
But
not
we're only
stop,
doing like
even
3 days a week at
as
the moment.
The UK and Ireland have tried to rebel, has it? Our Norwegian overlords still stand strong.
Yeah. And you say that, again, I am waiting for the Norwegian players in the server. Who knows?
Just the
You can
straight
buy
up
5
double
players,
swing
but you
to
can't
end it.
buy class, Cairo. Anyway,
Coming back.
there's a kill to open things up, and look, they'll be happy with that. Ticey's gone. In terms of
Yeah,
utility,
and we're going to
it's not
start
much
looking
more
at this
stopping
as well.
power behind
Over
it that
rotate
they've
comes
lost
in,
the
Harbor Ult on
process,
top of
but
this with the
plenty of
vision
bolts to
block.
throw at this, and
Yeah,
SweetNSour
might
gonna
even
bite
put
down
an
on
extra wall in
the
here. Who
reckoning, it
knows?
seems to
Nah,
be
he's
the
just going
case.
to insta
Yeah, it does.
luck. He's
They are
inserted
truly
himself
buying
over
into
towards
this
here as
gameplay, but with
Killjoy
no
decides
sound, surely
to
they're beginning to think
take
that
space over
this
towards
is
A,
just
and he even gets a kill.
fake. I mean, Ethan investigating mid,
I mean,
and the
this is
players
done.
now know the jig is
They would
up.
have to
Spike is
madly
going
misplay
down
this
on
one to
A,
lose
they're
it.
taking it really slow to get
Oh,
back.
that's
over,
the start of
although
it.
Tight
Killjoy
does
goes
get
down, which means the
himself
alarm
up.
bot's
Numbers
down,
are
which means that we
equally
can have a fast flank.
They could start to swing in the favour of SweetNSour, but instead it goes the opposite way. Map control lost in the process. Avova now deep with a snake bite in pocket. Shocks to go around. And again, there it is. The
Okay,
most
lovely.
expensive smash
13-4.
and grab operation in challenges.
But next map is meant to be the one that's going to be the closest in theory.
Soulcast there with him.
That's what I'm being told.
Another day in the Apeks office.
Yeah, no celebrations at all really from the Apeks boys after that
Yeah,
win.
just
They know the job is not done. It's only
business.
one map, a splash.
I think
in
Harbor
the
needs
pond,
another balance. Nah,
and
dude.
that's
I'm
it.
telling you,
I
all
think
of the
you've got to be
controllers
looking
are in a
towards
pretty
the
good
next
spot.
map
It's
for
just
both
Viper.
teams. Sweet and Sour, you just brush that off.
Viper needs a
Icebox
big
has
nerf.
never been good
Omen
for
needs
them,
like a tiny
and they know
tweak.
that's their opponent's pick.
Yeah, well, Apeks starting to make that run now
Again,
through this.
in terms of like what
final
happened this year
series
with
that
the
we're going
Sky
to be
nerf,
seeing in the first split
you
of
do that on
Polaris.
Viper,
Something
and we
I was
have like
speaking
another
about
period
before
where
as
the
well, and I
game's
wanna
just
call
in
this
like
one
the
back
best
with the
spot ever, and
possibility
everyone's
of them
playing
being
different
undefeated.
comps.
You look at some of the other names. Mouse on the Warpath, they won their upper bracket final. Desire without the
Astra buff? Nah, they would be mad to buff Astra. I'm telling you, as soon as you get rid of Viper and like it's actually like a reasonable nerf, people will start looking at other ways of playing double controller, and Astra becomes very strong.
We'll have the second map up for you after the break.
Enemy remaining. Spike down A.
ISO in pro play needs to change the wall somehow. Again, I think you should be able to stop the wall, and I think you should be able to do different speeds. That's the change I would make. And then, if that's not enough, I would be tempted to look at making the wall bigger. But I think it would actually be in a really good spot if they just did the change of the wall. Being able to stop it at a certain point really does add the amount of stuff you could do in terms of like, especially Icebox. You think here vision block and being able to defuse. Making his wall actually stop is a massive buff. So I would like do that and then see where it's at. Valorant has a Viper problem. Yeah, but it was a little bit inflated last year because of the Sky, and at least Sky got nerfed, so at least it's in a bit of a better spot. So we had the silent nerf, right? So that's also a thing. But the problem was they didn't wanna, and even if they wanted to plan to nerf Viper, and I still have, not to start a conspiracy theory or anything, but I was pretty confident that they were gonna nerf Viper after Sky the week after, because there was a PBE change, and then they cancelled the PBE change on the week after Sky. And I believe it was for Viper, and they had a Viper, like a heavier Viper nerf planned. That's where I sit. And then I think there was so much backlash from Sky changing 3 weeks before pro play that they were like, well, we definitely can't change the Viper. Then a week after, everyone's kicked off. Would you want the Omen to be tweaked with? I would just put an extra 5 seconds on the smoke delay, to be honest, in terms of the recharge of a smoke. You just need something small like that. Okay, Schnopps, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the whole year. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Snobs. Okay, chat, I'm going to spam some ads while we wait. We've got 4 minutes left. If people, again, want to check out the charity that Liquid is doing at the same time, we got, so far, we've raised 3,013, and then we'll read out your donations. Desp, if you're still here, your ex-wife was donating as well. I don't know why it's $7.10, but yeah, I want to look at that one, Desp. And yeah, again, if you donate, we'll spam, we'll celebrate. What do you mean I do know why? I don't know why. I don't get what $7.10 means. What do you think about making the Odin cost 3,700? Bro, slap another 0 on that or something. I want this gun gone. Okay. Be right back.
SweetNSour were pulled into the icy tundras of Icebox, and the Norwegian powerhouse of Apeks brought their first map pick home. Really a place that Apeks have been dominant throughout. It was only until week 4 or 5 that they lost the defensive round, for Christ's sake. This is a team that's been demolishing. It started off brightly for SweetNSour, but at a point it felt that Apeks took control and ended it pretty much in the dominant form they've been in all stage.
Yeah, there were a couple of really good highlight rounds from SweetNSour, and me and you were like, okay, this is looking quite good. And then it feels like it got to a point, and then it just started to go a little bit downhill. I feel like there were a couple of times that we mentioned where we saw SweetNSour do some really intricate plays, and they didn't really capitalize off it, right? They did the first half, and then they kind of slowed down and
3,700 credits and
like
damage
Apeks,
fall off after 6 to 7
Not
bullets
at
of
all.
spam.
13-4, the final score. Apeks
Damage fall
kind of
off.
enjoying these kind of scorelines throughout the whole of 2024 thus far. SweetNSour doing a little bit better of the likes
Maybe.
of
I still think it needs more than
Gaming,
that.
for example, who got 13-0 on this
I
map
think
early.
you're on
Sorry
some
to bring
kind
you
of
guys up. We'll see you in the clips in a couple of weeks,
Right line now.
unfortunately. But it is really much the case of like Apeks. This is not even mostly being like their main map.
Hello, yo, what?
It's been people like
hello.
OnlyFins, for example, picking up maps like Icebox into Apeks
No,
and
not
then
me.
dominating. This is one of the few times that they've gone, yeah, actually, we're going on Icebox. We're going to choose it for the first map.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they kind of played Icebox and have had to go up against Apeks again, and I feel like Apeks looked at their
Lexi, did I
VCL and was
miss
like,
your
right,
sub?
what are they currently not winning? And it was Icebox, because Apeks
Yes,
wouldn't
I
have
did.
said, right,
Wait,
what
did
are
you
we
do the
winning,
sub
guys?
in,
Let's pick our strength.
In the break
Because
while I walked away,
every
you're
map is
checking,
their strength,
checking
right?
to see if I'm checking
They
out
would
for
have
subs.
gone onto their
Respect.
stats and they're like, right, look, their Icebox is quite weak. It's probably quite
Another
easy
month
to
of
win.
you fighting the
Obviously,
machine,
coming into this
17
as
with
well,
TV
they
and
have the
Nightball.
advantage with the
Honestly,
double
are you
ban.
winning or?
So then when you pick a
Thank
map
you so
like
much.
Icebox
It feels like
against
you're winning.
SweetNSour,
Thank you for the prime. Thank you for the 11 months as well. Thanks so much for
it's going to
everything.
be difficult for SweetNSour
You are winning?
to
Okay,
actually
respect.
find anything out of that game.
Yeah, Apeks, they're going to be confident with any map that they're playing thus far, but especially Icebox with the amount that they've played it. And like you mentioned, SweetNSour, the last 2 performances we saw from them were losses during like the group stages and then a little bit into
SweetNSour
playoffs.
don't have a coach?
But I
Nope.
think one
That's what
thing
I'm
that we
saying,
were sort
man.
of
You know when
expecting
people come
looking
into
at
chat
when it
and they're
comes to
just like,
SweetNSour
how
was
do I get
their
into
ability to
coaching?
be quite,
Bro, find
aggressive,
these tier 2
trying
teams
to
that
break
don't
the
have
mold, really
coaches
get under the
and
skin of the
anti-strat
opponents.
teams for them.
But judging
They'll
how
look into
even
the
at the first
anti-strat, and
round,
if your
the
stuff
first
is good, it
pistol
can
went
snowball
on,
into something else.
Apeks were quite happy
Then
to
potentially
fight
you can get
Whimsy
picked up
with
by an
Whimsy,
org,
right? It felt
boots
that
in the
SweetNSour
door,
want to be a bit
and then
antagonistic
the rest is kind of
in
history.
their approach.
This is the stuff you got to be. You got to be
But Apeks
pro. You got to
also
be
were happy
proactive.
to do some silly things as well in crazy rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you say there was definitely
there we
some
go.
silly things. I
We
think
got-
there
we
was a
got
couple
literal
of times we
teams
saw Hype
searching
maybe
in the
not
chat.
being as disciplined as he wanted to, you know, peeking a CT and a post plant. But we talk about post plant, and this pistol round was. I feel like I looked away from my screen, and I just hear you said, "Oh my God, he stuck that," because from what I was watching, it looked like it was the round for SweetNSour. Obviously, the half there from Avova is super important. Mosley having a nice flank through mid as well, just really being a bit of a nuisance. And then you have Kaya, look,
Confidence is a
little
big
kiss
factor
through the
too,
wall,
yeah.
And then look,
I mean, it's
already
just
half.
like-
Thank you, Avova. I will take it.
This is
And I think
outrageous,
it's
man.
super difficult
I mean, the
as
worst
well
thing that can
because you
happen
had
is they
the
just
cove there
ignore
and
you,
the wall.
really.
So it wasn't like he
Or
ran through
Imi
the
can put you
wall
on
and they could
blast.
have literally started
That
to
happened to
shoot
say, to
Kayak.
be fair.
Yes, then
The
go
worst thing that
into
can
the
happen is
orb as
Imi
well.
can
And
tweet
it's-
out
again, just here.
your
look
stuff
at
isn't
Avova.
good
How
and put you on
good
blast or
it is.
something.
Yeah.
I feel like
That was
he's
pretty.
just been- he's just
I haven't
been
seen
told
that
to
tweet,
get a
man. I
half.
need to see
Avova,
that tweet.
Get a half,
So
your job's done.
maybe the worst
We'll do
isn't
the
that they
rest.
can ignore you because
Pretty much.
Imi's a
And
savage.
I think
but
as well, like
majority
it
of the
kind
time,
shows
that's the worst that
vibe.
can
I think
happen.
that Apeks are playing with, we saw them at the winning moment in the first map, pretty chill. But I imagine with how that was playing and performing, pretty much up until the end of the map, Apeks felt that they were playing.
Last
with
time I
a-
played
not much
Valorant,
pressure
I
on
played
their
last week,
shoulders.
right?
They're not
I played
afraid to, like,
some.
we're in a team versus
What do we play?
friends,
We
just
played some
trying to
ranked in the
keep
end.
these
Played some
versus
ranked with
work.
Keeper.
We can still claw this back. But I think there's multiple players that we can highlight, both from the fact that SweetNSour getting people to know these guys' names, because there's definitely a future for them in Valorant if they keep progressing at the rate that they are, but certainly on the side of Apeks. And I think one thing to really highlight, you highlighted Athan at the start, the IGLs, because even on the side of Apeks, you have got Molsey IGLing for the first time. He didn't do that on Vitality. He didn't do that on,
as a pro player,
London
I never
United
played
and stuff that he
Valorant
was on
Pro, man.
previously.
Not even
Being able
close.
to do some pretty crazy stuff. And
In
him
the
on
in the
IGL,
first
popping
the
off
first
with moments like
week
this,
it came
lead
out,
by
I was
example, it
tempted,
feels.
but then I
Yeah, and
thought I would
feel
only
like
be relevant for about
goes
6
hand
months.
in hand, right?
So
As
I
a,
thought it was pointless.
As a Harbour player and
But I just committed to
IGL,
the
that
coach.
reckoning is like the start of the team fight in most cases, right? And I feel like it just goes hand in hand with it being the IGLs. They're like, right, let's get this party started pretty much. And there were a couple of times we saw Molsey with the reckoning, and it was absolutely beautiful because usually in a
fallen off
post-fight
fast, bro.
situation,
Wasn't worth.
you want to kind of, you know, play
Sometimes you gotta be a
contact, play
realist.
off of each other. But when the reckoning comes in, it's very difficult to. Well, you can't stand still. You can't be
I
playing.
think C9 and 11 are the
contact
two best teams in America.
as calmly
I
as
think
you
it's
want to,
like
as patiently,
I think it's similar to
because there is
America,
so much going
EMEA,
on.
where we've got a lot
Yes,
of teams at the
course,
top,
there's a
and it's like,
difference
well,
in
anyone
Molsey
can
and
beat
Aethan
anyone.
right now. But I
think
it's very
maybe by
difficult
the
for
maybe by the end of the
Aethan to
year
catch
we'll be
up
able to
on
know
these
for
stats
sure.
When it was a 13-4, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Wait,
when
Prodigy,
I was
what did I
keeping
do?
my eye on both of these two players, the two IGLs, they were like neck and neck. Both of them were at the top of the kill feed for their respective teams, like round 7, round 8. But
Don't
it
say
really
that, Prodigy.
was
I
as
read the
soon
ones
as
that are
we
important, I
were
think.
Like, oh yeah, both the IGLs playing Harbour, playing well. Big focus on them overall. That's when Molsey seemed to like up the ante. And there were a lot of moments where I felt that Apeks were just playing a little bit like undisciplined, but still sensibly, where they are
map
like
one.
trying to push.
It was
up and
pretty
take
competitive
space
up
when
until
you have the players
4-3.
on B main pushing up on defense to find these little gaps to try and flank.
And then it wasn't,
We
basically.
see SweetNSour rotate over towards A. Avova's already pushed up to jail, right? Because there's like almost a lack of respect given to SweetNSour. Mostly, I think, because Apeks know
An
that if we
analyst or a
give
caster
SweetNSour
on an official
respect and give
desk
them
be
too much,
associated
like,
with
room
any
to breathe,
team in terms
that's
of
when this
content
team can
creation
actually
or
build up
something.
momentum and start to springboard.
Yeah.
You want to shut that
We
stuff
had
down as
Kukuka
soon
was
as physically
Heretics.
possible.
We
if you're
had
Apeks,
Lofar
and really just
DRX.
dictate the pace of the series full stop.
Famzam was so
We've
close
had
to clearing
guest
that, though,
ones
and
in
I felt that
Americas
was one of
in
those-
terms
that was one of those
of
turning point rounds as well, where you don't clear
Dawn.
that corner and Avova gets that
So Marcus
3K.
is
Not
Na'Vi,
only is it
yeah.
motivational for
But lots.
Apeks because it's a nice play, it's also very
Shazam
demoralizing
for
for the side
G2.
of
Wait,
SweetNSour
Shazam still
because
signed to
Famzam,
G2? I think
he
that's
had
right.
that, you know, when you like, it wasn't
yeah.
one of those half clearing a corner. You go round, you clear it kind of like half-assed, right, and then you look back, oh boy, there was someone in the corner.
Double take, yeah.
Yeah. He was kind of. He
The
was
Shazam,
kind of
the
looking,
Shazam watch
and
party.
then I feel like again it was
Americas
like a double
games.
because that jail corner is so deep, especially how deep you can go if there's no one playing far back, because you can go right up against the jail. But
You don't
one
expect
thing
the Viper to be pushing it either, right? Like
No,
maybe
no.
maybe a duelist, maybe a Euro sneaks in there with but Avova's just like, yeah. all right,
what do you mean,
all right,
Prodigy?
guys? How's it going?
But that's one of Avova's strong points as well, is finding that space and making the game difficult for SweetNSour. And one thing I do want to note as well is we mentioned this pre-game was Soulcast, right? And there were a couple of things you wanted to say about Soulcast when
When
it
does
came
Ryan
to
get signed by a Chinese
the
team? Do they
kills
want
and his
to
deaths,
that?
right? Because the
Wants the
first half
Wolves.
was kind of quiet.
Everyone
The
wants
second
the
half,
Wolves.
he kind of just popped off.
Contract.
Yeah, defensive side, top ACS player across the league so far. He was 4-8, 115 ACS. On the attack, he only died once. He was
Oh,
9-1.
okay.
Like 400 ACS
Yes,
on that
Prodigy,
alone in like
yes,
5 rounds.
yes, yes.
But that is pretty much a map that
When I did
SweetNSour,
home ground as well,
I think
I
we're
was like-
expected to lose with Icebox.
I think I
now they have their main pick
just
of Lotus
signed or was
coming
about
up.
to sign,
It's a map that
and
hasn't
then,
been
yeah, they asked me
super clean
to
for
do
Sweet
desk
and Sour,
stuff.
but
But at the
they've
moment, I
been
just
able
wanna-
to
I just
iterate,
wanna
adjust, improve
dream
on
loads.
it. And it is a map that, despite
The problem with being on the
popularity
desk
across the globe right now,
is
especially with
travel,
Haven,
first
Lotus
of all,
seems to have taken
so
that
you then
space
can't stream the
alongside, like,
other
Ascent, right,
regions.
as a popular
And that's the
map.
main
Like,
one.
Apeks haven't
I want to watch other
been
games, and
playing it too
traveling
often,
doesn't allow
and
for
it's
that.
one of those areas that SweetNSour is trying to make their like home ground, their main map to focus on and improve on.
Yeah, I mean, last time these two faced off on Lotus, it was 13-11, right? And that was during the split. So, look, I did say earlier on, this is probably the game where if we can't see SweetNSour fight back, I do think we're going to see a very quick
party with
series.
Sean?
This is
Yeah,
the
should we
game
try-
where
should
they
we try watch party with
seriously
Sean
need to
tonight?
be like, right,
What games are they?
we
Sorry.
need to bring everything to the table. And just looking at
games
their
are
previous
today?
stats on this, SweetNSour did struggle on the defense last time on this map.
D2
It was only
Furious,
when they
C9
came to the
100
attack
Thieves.
was when they
C9
actually
100
started
Thieves with
picking
Sean
up
could be
some
good.
rounds, because at halftime it was actually 8-4 to Apeks. And obviously we know this map is fairly attack-sided,
Let's
right?
see if he wants to do
we talk
100
about
Thieves,
we talk
C9.
about this in VCT, in pro
When's the
play.
last time I messaged
Most
Sean?
people prefer being on the attack, and then it's all depending on the comps as well.
Wanna
Some people
watch
play quite
party.
defensive comps sometimes, and
9.
well, this is
100 feet.
kind of what we're expecting. Not really
Yeah.
any changes here.
Yeah, we've seen like Apeks play around with a couple of kooky ideas, but on Lotus, it feels like they've really given a respect to this meta, one that's been defined by a lot of teams, certainly EMEA. The last time that Apeks played this map was against SweetNSour in the group stages, so it has been a fair while. SweetNSour playing up against Metaspot and beating them throughout the groups as well is a good start. 13-10, so still quite close there. Ultimately, there's no short way of saying this. SweetNSour, if there's
any
gonna
crazy
be Apeks dropping the map at all in stage 1, it feels like it has to be
I
this
thought
one
for a second it was sounding a bit
right?
crazy, but it's not.
Yeah, and I think the
Want to
main
watch
things to note
C900 Thieves
this
with me?
map
I
as
won't
well
blab about subs,
is
just more
last time these guys
talking,
played,
push the
they
talk
actually had more
about good
entries on the
rounds.
side of SweetNSour than Apeks.
I always
yet
think
they
when you
still
talk about
lost.
this
It was
stuff that
13-11. But that just
I
goes
don't know
to
how the
show
others
that
do it.
potentially
I
some
guess
of the
they
stuff
mute
we're
when
seeing
they
from
like thanking
SweetNSour
subs.
is maybe more
'Cause
aggressive,
otherwise,
right? We had
I
Ticey
imagine
with 4
Tarek's just
first
thanking
kills,
subs the whole
but
time.
like I said, if Ticey isn't getting loads of first kills, you have Tempo as
spoiled
well.
with the chamber
Even
mirror
on that
match.
Killjoy, he was getting 5
Yeah, that was
entries, right?
kind of fun today,
That
to
just
be
goes to show the way Tempo plays, and he can really
Felix, thank you so
set
much,
the
man.
pace
Thank you with the prime. Appreciate
of
that.
Lotus.
Yeah, let's
Map
see if Sean wants to
5,
do watch
well,
party there.
the best of 5 going to the second map of Lotus. Hazen Cairo, who is the player
talking-
on either side
Bruh,
that you
let's-
want to
this
really
doesn't even
step
make
up
sense what
in
I
this
said.
map? What do you want to see perform?
I like that from Ryan. We've broken the fourth wall and asked a question. For me, the answer is simple. It has to be Creamy. He was 0-5 in first fights in that previous map, and it was against Apeks last time when we saw him struggle. You talk about top performances that this player has shown us. It started out on Lotus, the first ever map that they played in Challengers against the Statement Metasport roster,
toggle mute.
23-5.
Yeah,
It's
it's
got to be
interesting
similar
way of doing
stuff
it.
if they can turn this one around.
It does, it really does, and SweetNSour, while they've taken Apeks to the limits on here.
Okay,
Apeks
so in
will be
theory, I
working
mean,
the
this
commence
is
for last
their
time,
best
not
chance,
allowing
and they know it's their
SweetNSour
best
a
chance because they're
chance to,
picking this
as
map.
we already know, make history being the first team.
So let's see if they can get off to a good
drop
start.
map and a
It
full
is
threat
Fnatic
into
Comp
the
v
playoffs.
Fnatic Comp. We start on defense and they want to
History on the
instantly
line. Sweet and
maybe
sour
heavy shutdown
flying
A
the
or late
flag
trap A.
for the free agents. Still, no one willing to get the contracts out just yet is crazy to me, but here we are. Map number 2, Lotus. They came within 2 rounds last time out. Threw it away from an eco and lost from a 11-10 scoreline to 13-11.
Oh, the trap play.
as
And
they
is it
conceded.
trap play
Stack
for
on the A
door?
side to start
We
the
have
game.
contact, and then this could be a trap play with an Omen Flash.
Apeks are
Ever
wary, 'cause
nade,
there's no
maybe,
noise,
if the
there's
Tevin
nothing.
nade was
From
good.
usually a very
Or we
loud
have door,
roster
Omen
as a
Flash, and then I imagine the Ray sends it.
investigating.
Let's find
Trap
out.
will be
We
sprung.
just straight up duel in this.
Mossy has the spike. This will be a little careful here. It's the
Oh.
First player in, it's dropped. Bamzam confirmation that this
Yeah,
is
well, I
a
ever thought
little
that
bit
one is
more
literally
than
just all
meets
dueled
the eye.
together.
Pivot towards the B called, but Hyper's the first that falls in that endeavor. Information on where the rest are coming through, and that adventure from Hobbit Door may be cut short.
Sokas is on his own adventure. In towards CT, a tap of the spike.
Yeah,
Nobody
just keep
covers
an eye on
the
Sokas though,
flying
and this
their
guy's
way.
done a lot of
Sokas
distraction
they're
here.
actually waiting for. Up on stairs,
Oh.
and here it is. Only gets one and tries
6
to
bullets,
deploy.
bro, he can smoke that.
This is the moments again, like I say, where
looks like they know
SweetNSour
kayaks
don't want to
here.
be caught by the occasion. Soulcast starting to play
Lovely
them like
nades
a
to
fiddle.
stop this.
Ticey
Soulcast gets
shown
involved
out the
again.
door
Okay, they're on
by
top of the
paint
fact that he
shells,
might
but
swing on this
Soulcast is
though.
taken down in the process.
looking
And
like a
the
pistol.
player gone, all attention on the site. Kayak the last that remains. Finally he gets the jewel on the waterfall player.
nicely done.
Tempo taken out, but SweetNSour will get another pistol round on the board. They're first in this series,
Yeah, I like this
should
as well,
say.
and it made sense in terms of first
Yeah,
contact
Guns
being the one that's a little bit more
on the
committed, and then this guy
I
can
think
swing as well.
realistically for
They can just
SweetNSour
play off
as
each
they're
other.
not even going to think about Icebox, you know. I mean, we've already spoken about how their performances have been on 0-4 now. As they move on towards Lotus, a much more homely feel to them, and you can see that with how they've played their first round.
Yeah, I mean, you even looked at the statistics as well, though. The defenders'
Who won in
side is
pistols
never
at the
a
moment?
position that they were particularly good
In
at
terms of this,
playing.
right?
I'm remembering against Apeks last time.
Or was it
how
Apeks?
many
Apeks win double
occasions do they
pistol
have
last
an
map?
advantage in player numbers to be working with.
Yeah, at least won the
And
second one.
left the site open and into the retake, just couldn't
Oh,
convert
no, yeah,
it.
you're right, they did, so
Stuff
it's
like
2-1
that,
here.
which we need to see changed here. Boba already
Okay, early A
isolated,
control, we
and
get
with a lead plucked from the root by Ticey.
Marshall to Okay, and they can throw that over to someone else,
Maybe
maybe?
just in case.
They buy a little bit
As
into
for now,
it,
there's
because
been a
obviously
lot
they
of
got the
players
plan.
seen on the A side of the map, so Apeks are going to try and head towards C. That's where the spike is, and I imagine this plan will be pretty much easy enough in the new reconstructed site. Well, I should say old reconstructed site, considering the changes and how long it's been.
Stuck in the past, mate.
Don't swing this with a
Been a while,
classic.
like you say,
okay,
but, I mean,
lovely.
to look
First
back to the
contact
past
and
as
then they
well,
can
as I
swing
said,
right click.
Advantages, that's the key thing. Utility here for SweetNSour will be good in reclaiming space. Kayak's nade brought off the board as well.
That's
So
nicely done.
one of
See what
the
they can
key
do over
details
towards
now,
site.
they would have liked to shut
Soulcast?
this
No,
down.
okay.
It's
So this one's
missing,
very, very
as is the
clean.
rest of the team.
They were allowed
Tempo
one
with
death
2
in
more
terms
kills.
of the
SweetNSour have
ghost
the
going
rounds
out,
to
and
match it.
there was only one death.
It's extremely clean. You've got to consider.
So the good start that
that
we wanted
the
is
only
here.
player that, well, only one of the players that got dropped, immediately their gun gets picked up because Creamy was only on a pistol committed to.
Oh yeah, the ninja
actually
defuse,
using
bro. How did I even
utility.
forget that?
And obviously,
Defuse in
as
front
they
of him.
getting in towards the next round, I actually just seen Ticey buy up a
Yeah.
outlaw, so this bonus is looking pretty decent for them.
I was about to say the same thing. And look, we'll have to see if sites like that, you know, not looking to play
We
a
got
site
1,
holds
2 that we
more
can
in your
take down on this
retakes,
one. First
if
big
they
buy
will
round.
continue to be a
And the
positive
bonus
trend
isn't too bad
for
at all.
SweetNSour.
Where do we decide to
You're looking
go?
at the player positions here from
I
Apeks.
imagine the
Very
second molly
passive.
is going
Soulcast
over
likes to
towards
go
door
for
because the
bounce on
second
A
molly on
short.
door is
It
just
wasn't the best for him in the previous
one of the
round.
strongest things in my mind you can do
just
with a
see they're
killjoy.
waiting for that aggression. The Viper wall is a bit of a deep cut here for the defenders.
Interesting. What was this?
And that's because they've double layered it up on A.
I was going to say they're sending it towards what is probably the worst site for them with the Viper and KJ setup. Although you can just see Famzam dancing between where you actually want to.
Yeah, so we save a molly, but the molly would have stopped them from getting door control. They get door control setting up from an Omen Flash. Lovely nade Teva, right? Nope, nade
You
missed.
don't have hype through the middle of the map either, so all eyes on this push. Spike dropped right in the choke.
Bro, they just kind of sent it over towards site, not too much map
Strangling the
control. They
Apeks
just wanted
players as
to...
they make their way through. This is looking like a really good bonus.
Yeah, it looked like I was watching K-Corp, just map control into site here.
Players are taken out in the process. The tree door is
Nothing else
open,
anywhere
but
else.
swiftly shut in their face with a spike at the feet of SweetNSour.
Don't want to give 1v1s or 2v1s. Anything which is in Apex's favour, which they can claw the round back. You can just see the bullets flying over the head. Famzam, they've got no head left. It's all up to Soulcast now in a 1 versus 4. Sure, you've been good, mate, but I don't
Damn,
think
bro,
you're
we
gonna
get
be
some
good enough for
upgrades.
this one.
1, 2.
It's gonna be that bonus
Lovely
conversion
round from them.
hazard.
Okay, this
SweetNSour
is
off to a
very much
flyer.
the good start that we were wanting to see.
Upgrades pretty much all across the board, and Creamy maybe given a buzz cut through the corner. You were worried
Odin
that
comes
a little
out as
moment
well.
like that could be
Man,
all the
I want to
difference
see
in terms of
something
clawing a
better in
kill
terms of
back,
map
but
control from
just like
Apeks. This
getting a
was...
fresh trim, he's feeling
This is
brand
what I
new.
refer to as
4-0
ranked in
on
terms
this
of
map
map
so far, and
control.
that player that I
Send it.
highlighted is starting to step up when we need him.
That's it, has it? In fact, the spam zams coming through as well, just to note.
Yep.
Something that's just so iconic for SweetNSour on Lotus. And I think it has been a real characteristic for a lot of teams, thinking towards Liquid as well.
Apeks of last year. Enzo.
Yes.
Who else? Door opened early. SweetNSour with player numbers towards Mound, a little segregated from each other. If Ticey takes that fight through the door, there's no real way that Afen can trade it off. Now, his position looked at in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, it looks
See
like they
this
want to
common
force into this
smoke to
one.
just bridge the
Fade
gap from
eye.
the one way. Reveal over the top, but nothing spotted.
Goes out while they're fighting over towards C. They take B control.
Oh, the shots
And
to
there's
the
a smoke there, but-
Mosey that's gone. Unlucky for him.
Chop, man.
Still though, Apeks look to head towards
Kind of got a
B.
bit of info. We get a weird
Two players
moment
sitting
where a
here from
gun's down that they
SweetNSour.
want to
Hit
pick
this
up.
somewhat well. Need to be wary though
Well-
of a stinger at short range.
Or the possibility that they just pivot straight through the
Dude,
door.
The
It's still
indecision there.
a real chance
I
that
don't
could
think they checked this
happen.
corner though, right?
Creamy up close,
Oh,
and
he should have got
his
that
flawless
kill.
streak
Lovely
has
trade
come
though
to an
goes in.
end.
Gotta keep an
First
eye on.
black mark on the
Kayak goes over
scorecards,
towards
and it's
C,
one
picks
which
up the
makes
gun
the
of the
difference
person they
because
killed
now
earlier.
Apeks
C,
having re-cleared Mound while
fully
this was going
empty.
on. Kayak's open things up, a paranoia to play him into Waterfall.
Yeah, and they take a
Ticey
lot of map
flees
control
from the
with it.
scene. The defenders are
So this one
so
kind of
deep
snowballed
back
into
now.
a nightmare. We plant it over towards Mound, smoke on top of it as well. We got double molly, so we can see they just want to play delay on site and just
Vigil,
after plan
Tempo
util.
wins this, it's the lockdown in
Yeah.
play. Kayak instead will best him. The Polish powerhouse continues to prowl. SweetNSour cowering in fear. They dropped so far back when the showstopper came through. Could get caught pants down in the 1v1 though. Ticey is out on the site, over with the Sheriff. There is a lack in weaponry here for Apeks, but
Yeah,
the time
first
is on
Molly
their
goes
side.
in, smoke is up. This guy's going to tank it. Wait, did Molly miss? No, okay, Molly hit, but they managed to get a half.
There is utility to get players off of the spike, but it's Ticey on towards main. That's taking everything in his stride. Time so low, I think this could be done. Famzam just holding
Okay, it's
forward,
close.
but
Dude, I'm not even sure the Molly
It's gonna be a
actually
tricky
hit
round.
there. I think there might have been
Timing a
room.
little
I'm not
better,
entirely
and
sure.
Famzam can steal the defuse there.
Looked kind of
Two
close
players
either way.
working on different
Apeks played it
ends.
pretty well.
Ticey held
This
up
gun going down just
his
snowballed
of the
into
bargain, but
a nightmare.
neither really culminated
On
in quite
Incognito,
enough.
thank you so
So,
much, man. Appreciate the prime.
again,
Thank you for the
like I
5
say,
months.
just as soon as you start to get carried away, Apeks bring you right back down to the state of things. They're yet to lose a map. SweetNSour not without their
Kayak looks
mistakes the
good.
last
Yeah,
time
dude,
VCL
he'll be in
played here,
EME8,
but they let the door
VCT
open
next
just
year.
a little bit.
either with this
Apeks
team or
jammed
on
their
another
foot
team.
in that
Unless
gap.
his buyout's crazy, but
Big investment.
Apeks have been pretty
Ticey's
good
up
at
for the
just
first time in this map. Does
wanting
have
the best for their
shoulder
players.
stopper to
So
bail himself out of any close engagements. This actually has a beating.
I think he's
for
really
Temple, who's
talented.
Scaling so far up mount.
Yeah, it's looking here like Apeks perhaps want to try and invite some kind of a duel through the door.
I like that.
They could push off the back of it, but it's a turret broken instead. One way goes straight back up. And that is the message posted by SweetNSour. They know of the op though, and it has rotated.
Yeah, it's starting to head towards the A side, but I've seen so.
Dude, this is much better than the first buy round. Map control, map control, map control.
The alarm bot creating that question mark, making SweetNSour dedicate resources to holding that choke. That's the Soulcast.
Vision block as well. Loads of map
Again,
control.
this is Soulcast's
Look how far
job
back
on
they are.
this
Look how
map.
much
As I said
weaker A
before,
site
a
is
guy
once
who's
they do
played
this.
Info, anchor, duelist, the lot, the works. Wherever he's required, he stepped up, driving wedges in the defense, trying to find a
with
little
Omen
bit of extra
flash.
ground. But the Prowler is right on time. Apen isolated, crossfire broken in the
30
site.
seconds
They
on
still
this one. They
hold
don't
the
have
all
someone over
important
towards
angle
B,
to
so they
stop the
can't
cross.
pivot. That's a lovely tether. All goes in. Ah, man. They had numbers here and they called to floods, but it was just a little bit off. And the Apeks util looked pretty decent. Much better actual default from them, though. Right pressure everywhere. Even managed to insert one over towards stairs.
To open up that gap, or well, close it in this instance.
Yeah, that they do. Back within one. In terms of what SweetNSour have to stay competitive, it's started to dry up. You're coming down to the last couple coins in your coffers. And that's the most worrying thing. It is the defense. Sure, I would by and large say that 2 more rounds here for them is probably job done. The attack is when they can start to work things ever in their favor. But again, missed opportunities are not something you can afford to give away against this Apeks team.
2 hero guns. They can gamble a little bit. Not saying that they want to use the ult into the eco, but
this time they will has a look at Mount. Ethan so far up and Ticey.
well, I always get worried, man. The amount of times I've seen ecos win too much on the Mount Jewel is, especially when we disrespect in one ways, that gets scary.
Down in the process. So Kayak with that kill.
At least they use a util into it. That's the main thing. As long as you use a lot of util, I'm fine with it.
Picks up the
And teams start just dry dueling
Around
this.
like this, really, you've got to be looking for maximum damage. So the reason for the default is understood.
Checking with the money. Money's good. Money's real good. Money could get insanely good after this round.
As well has it. Both have it available. Famzam just jumping and giving. So cast some audibles.
It's a cross-map poison cloud which has been thrown. So it's
Having the
landed in
permaban to
choke
find
of
that,
C.
yeah, I agree.
Finally, they feel as if some proactivity needs to be
It's just
levied. A
so
bona fide
unnecessary,
kill over the
man.
shoulder of Creamy. Famzam one
It's
on the
just
side.
so unnecessary.
And B is where this one should finish because
I agree.
there is
If
still
you want to
utility,
get
the
unbanned,
possibility
you
of it
gotta
in their way. Ticey on a timing, can't
gotta
take
reply
it.
for that.
And Avova having found that kill means that everyone knows where this last player is. It's a worst kept secret in the server, but Famzam may just have
Love the round the world from Hype at the moment. Low HP as well, so one of the better players to do it.
A rifle to pick up and an ultimate to use. If they even get to that stage, it's 40 points of HP that's in the pocket here, and Hype on the flank, looking to shore things up.
Oi, dude, was he tempted to?
And he won't. There
He's
you go.
not.
Flank coming in. Like I said, Apeks happy to just divide the resources there a little bit as well. Hype, we've got a knife kill. The last
Been
time
7
these two
previous
faced on
timeouts before
Lotus,
that. I mean,
in
yeah, it's
fact.
pretty warranted.
And he was
Dude, people love
sizing
flaming
up
so much,
Famzam
man.
there at the possibility of
So
lightning
crazy.
striking twice. Now to the ultimate game that we chalked so much up.
The hate watchers are through the roof in Valorant, I swear.
Round or so.
Swayval, thank you so much. Thank you with the Prime.
Both lockdowns, a counter to Famzam's
Appreciate
pit.
you so much, man.
Try
Appreciate
and
it. Welcome into the
bunker
Slow
up on a
Club.
site. And again, Apeks just keep doing the same thing.
Being so much more aggressive to not allow Soulcast the chance to hit A, and that's a lot of utility that's been sent towards that A main, which will invite Apeks a reaction towards C. Has a 4 players out on Mount right now.
Yeah, it's important that we mention it as well, because something that I said before is SweetNSour's retakes. You're missing key pieces. That's another blast pack gone. Can't exactly say I knew what the idea was with that one, but Apeks continuing to build up in the mounds, and with the
They have so many
broken,
ults,
they
man.
know players are
They
here.
have so many ults. No matter what,
Should
you
have
can't hold on to
information
this
on
one.
agents
Let's see
really as well.
what they decide to do, because it's like, do you want to fade ult, raise ult, and then Killjoy ult for after plant, or do you want to do it the other way around? First one probably makes the most sense. They have a Killjoy ult anyway, so maybe you can get the kill on the Killjoy ult. Yeah, and they might want to hold on towards Heaven, and that is a huge... Oi, 27? Yeah, and you don't want to Killjoy ult there, they got too much space. And this is nice as well, just knowing that they're gonna try and kill Joe. And if they do this, are they going around the world?
Yeah, the lockdown used,
Oh, this is cool from both teams. Wait, we might get a lot of people locked down here. Let's see what happens.
Brilliantly, Mulsey with 3 kills, and that is the statement made.
Gets 3
Locked
there.
out behind the lockdown on the opposite side.
Yeah,
and
and 3 ults into this one. Very good in
decision,
terms of
but
understanding
again, we
the
speak
impact
about
of
those
this round
ultimates.
itself,
Apeks
and the fact that they
invest
can't
theirs,
buy
as do
next.
SweetNSour, they get the better of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the saving grace is that Apeks...
IGL's in tier 2. I don't know enough about tier 2, but EMEA in general just kind of struggling for IGLs. The only one I know about is Keeper, really, that's
as
it.
well, and it's going to hunt down these last couple of players. Tempo low.
You only really know, like,
right off of that showstopper. I mean,
is
all
the problem with
racing
IGLs,
was gone,
because
so there was certainly a
you could even have a successful
point to
team
be
and it
made
might not
of
even
it.
be the IGL. It could be
yeah,
like
I
the
think
coach
you
or someone
can't
else in the
afford to
team
be
having like really good
entirely
mid-rounding.
risk-free against
You
Apeks.
never
If you play a
really know too
standard
much.
game of
But I can
Valorant,
confidently
it's
say
not
that
one that you're
I
going
know
to
that
win.
Keeper's good just because of the stuff that
It
he's
isn't at all. I mean,
shows
but
me,
at
I
the
guess.
same time, though, you can see SweetNSour on the ideas that they have. Like, I mean,
there'll be
the-
some- there'll be some good
having
ones.
Pressure, so you force Apeks into that C pivot. And then the ultimates in trying to take them off guard, thinking that they'll be pushed out of sight. Unfortunately,
Falcons,
for
bro.
them,
Falcons
I
do
mean,
some
Mosey's
sick
just
stuff.
so much
But
better.
again, I don't know
And
who
as
it
long as
is.
the SweetNSour
Late
have
Tansy. Could be the
flash to
coach.
leg to
Unless they changed
push
coach
these
within like the past 2
positions.
years, which they might have.
Yeah, aggressive on A. It's only Afen there.
Yeah, we used to love cracking against Falcons. That's some good stuff.
Map. Creamy's maybe filled the gap with
100
Famzam,
ping
but
demons.
every player on the server needs to make their mark, because Apeks have the pick of the litter. Any one of them
Bomb grenade out.
can make it your worst day in the
I
server.
like this change up
Players on
though.
the C site. Good reaction here, SweetNSour,
Yeah, and this
but they're
guy's just a
starting to
nightmare.
drop.
They get
Kayak
3
has his
people here.
first.
They managed to force into it.
Goes.
Taking some hit in terms of Veto and guns.
SweetNSour
Veto goes in.
preparing
Can they even
to get
capitalize on
in.
this?
Here
It does
comes
hit
the
4.
And it's
Oh.
Yeah, that's a
combination
nice
after
combo.
combination. The players put low
Oh, yeah,
before
they've
the
done pretty good on
ultimate
this.
Trying to dip out, trying to use the
Yeah, and do
forces
they
to work
insta
together.
force in towards B where they got someone waiting? That's an overstep.
Famzam just peeks out
That's an
solo
overstep.
and gives a freebie towards the Norwegians.
You have to walk that line. You have to. SweetNSour.
Lovely though.
maybe
Yeah, the rotate was really good on this
overstaying their
one.
welcome with an
He at
open
least
peak
got
or
them
two,
info that
but
they were pivoting over
winning out
towards
on the
B, I
B
guess.
fight.
Got
Spike
them
in
the
the middle
fast
of sight, but
rotate.
Obama with the ultimate in hand will be looking to try and spindle a
30
web of
seconds left.
trickery himself. Aphen's been here since
But he
the
probably
start of
doesn't
things.
expect the guy to be
He
on
is a
this left.
difficult clear in the corner. And when
'Cause
you
otherwise,
TP
why would
straight
this
into
guy
his
be like
open
this?
arms, there's only going to be one end result. A big round from him with a multi-kill, as SweetNSour can settle the score even.
Yeah, we've got to be thinking of the side biases as well. The 3-side map has a...
Sure.
I mean, SweetNSour, they could be on for a good one, but at the same time, they need to
Yes,
make
Pat,
good
try not to
of
curse
their
you guys,
attack.
Sentinels,
You know
dude.
what Apex's defense is gonna be like. Maximum
The casters are
needed
through the
from
roof. I don't know if they've ever
especially
been
when
this
they're
much
in
of a
the-
hit
the
rate.
Viper's pit, etc.
A much better round from SweetNSour in terms of how they read the game as well, with
Yeah.
the rotations.
Man, first
Thought
week I
maybe
went for
Aiden
so
was
many
out of place, but
underdogs.
there's always the
I got
possibility
burnt.
of the B play
And then
coming
ever
in,
since then, I haven't gone for any underdogs.
insurance
And now I'm
policy
getting
elected
burnt for going for the overdogs.
You can still
Now
see that.
Apeks thinking about taking this one ahead of time.
You can still see their eagerness though from SweetNSour to just keep fighting, keep brawling.
It's like Tempo has a turret place sight. What's that going to do when you're putting your head on the line? SweetNSour is on the other side of the door for now, and it doesn't matter because they will be heading straight through the middle. 5 players.
Double molly on this one. This has been starting to be a bit of a new trend. Have you noticed that within like the last 2 weeks? Where everyone's just playing the after plant over towards B. Once you get this, they start having mollies over from the Viper and the Killjoy.
That's a lovely combination. Mosey gone, delaying, trying to be set towards.
Yeah, and they got to be fast on this one, but it is pretty fast. Smoke goes out. We only have 2 mollies. Let's see. When's the molly go up? Molly goes out. Dude, this molly might last a little bit late. They're definitely at least going to get half. Other molly goes in.
Soulcast has to peek out now.
Lineups though, they're not going to follow through on it. There is still
Shot.
half a chance
Time.
here. Half a chance for a reason.
So close. Went down to 7 before the molly went. Damn, he timed it well. Timed that one well. Okay. Very nicely handled.
Actually, many lineups for the B before. I think that's the first time that I've seen it, but it's nice from Apeks, something different. And I guess that the thing is, though, is just the engagements on the site. They don't delay enough to get the value out of those lineups.
It's still cut very fine, though.
Let's stream until VCT Americas. Let's check the timing. We'll see when this ends.
They want to tap and a
I want to get some food at one point, so we might just leave the stream on.
How they chose to play it.
Or if it's too long a break, then we'll just
in terms of the
restream
swing
later.
for both finances and ultimates.
Big pings coming through, and again the utility game from SweetNSour has it in terms of the combination of fade and raise.
Yeah, we got it. A couple of people that can't buy next, but obviously we might be able to force into it. 5 on defense is pretty legit.
Because Ticey does tend to operate somewhat by himself in a lot of these situations.
Does this actually fall down through the hole here?
Chelsea has one here. Seas goes in
Yeah,
over
that's
the
cool.
top, but nobody caught and still plenty in pocket to fend this one off.
Second time these two played against each other, and you can see Famzam just respecting the pressure being put on as the door is being
Oh my god,
opened,
there's so much damage
trying
done.
to
We've got 5
get
A6,
players to
A6,
walk
chunking a
through
few of
open
them.
door. Yeah, there's a lot of chip damage, but there's nothing in terms of key concrete
Razel to
kills.
retakes, this is a big
Aware
duel.
of anybody walking through the edges of the
That's
smoke,
the
but it's
prettiest
a
thing
moment
we've
that
ever
comes
seen.
out on top. Pit invested, that's going to be real sustain for Apex's hold.
Gotta keep an eye on this though.
It's a
Killjoy
mess of
going
it.
in behind, and
Yeah,
this is the
exactly.
one in
Clear
terms
for them.
of a little bit of map controls. Could definitely spam a lot of
Paranoia
this.
comes in main. They've
Viper
split
out
up
in the
and managed to
open might
find
want
this
to.
space, SweetNSour.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be thinking, no fade prowlers to clear the pit. Big kill, though, for the edges of it. Now we see SweetNSour begin to walk round it, circle. What is the pit?
For God's sake, man.
A 2v1. Height pass to come through huge. We've seen this clutch on the B side before. Can he come up once again? Spike up.
Damn, nicely done in the 1v2 here. What an after that just witnessed, bro. The Odin actually got the kill out as well. Shout out in the clutch here. It was nice. Alarm bot kind of helped out a little bit to make the spam easier. Couple of missed shots from SweetNSour, right? The Heaven one, maybe this Omen on site, maybe should have got the kill as
Dealt a
well.
bad hand in this one, missing pieces.
One person has to take a
Gotta
hit.
try
It's
and
the
find
Killjoy.
ways to fill those gaps. And yeah, again, such as we saw it, the stall was good. Apeks just seeing what their win conditions are. If we can get the spike down, we favor ourselves to win. A breakaway, a pace change here. Ticey is well supported this time.
Nothing really. I guess Spam's spamming out, but Apeks just waiting to see if SweetNSour are going to do anything silly.
You've got to be so careful here if you're Famzam, though, because you are walking a tightrope. The rest of your team is relying on this B play working out for them. Two Vandals heard, 2 players.
They look pretty comfy on this map, though.
Turret taken
doing-
out, and there is one on the defensive
Doing a lot
side
better.
to pick up
Okay, they
the
do
pieces.
decide to eco, even
Should
though
a
one
B play
person
come
could have
to
taken a hit.
fruition,
I would
but it won't.
probably like to see a force
Not
by
for
at
now.
5-6, but maybe something in prac in terms of like their
Information state,
win percentage of full buy
walking
rounds
the
is
map,
pretty high.
moving through it,
They just
see
want to
which
ensure
side
that.
is most vulnerable for them. Hype's still out on B, but
Here.
that's an easy pivot for them.
That's something you have to think
Yeah,
about
but
as
they
well,
do
like
have one
cycling
gun
of
here, and we also
information.
have the ult.
Mirror comps and very similar
If he gets
scenes
this
on
kill, he might
Icebox.
pop ult.
Now the push coming to shove. Ticey needing to take the duel. Tempo won a classic instead. A rifle lost to
Lewis,
the
hello
cause.
mate. How's things? Thank you for the 11 months, man. Appreciate the tier 1.
Terminal phrase goes a splash and a pond
Oh.
in the sea for Apeks. So many rifles to work with as they try
That's
to come
unlucky.
back in.
Just absolutely sent it with the
Still
Omen flash.
Beamies, Vandal. And I mean, the first wood kill isn't even that clean, and the rest just
Yeah, let's see if
clean
they
up.
can get a 6-6
As they
half.
do.
Last
Apeks
round before the switch.
reaping the results. A couple of rounds towards the tail end of the half has already made this look good for them. Now they want to secure the advantage in full. Dot the I's, cross the T's. SweetNSour have plenty to close. There's a real
Nice, man.
strong
Good luck for it, bro.
possibility here. We see all
Have I
5
been?
ults
Dude,
in
been
play,
good,
but
man.
their implementation for me
All of the
has to
regions
be
are pretty
key,
fun to
because
watch
so
at the
far,
moment, so
Apeks have made the difference
making
when
it
they've been able
it's
to
making it pretty fun.
use some of their own.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
situation now where they don't have
I just have no idea who's
Yeah,
going to
well,
win
I mean,
majority of the
that's one
games,
thing
unless
that
it's like a
SweetNSour
real,
can take
I guess, lower team playing one of the
all
top
that
teams.
confidence in. It's the ultimate game, but again, as you say, it's the value that matters here.
I'm doing good, dude.
Maybe none that you could entirely build the round around. If Avova does want to go for the Vanya outplay towards Spawn, then he does have the legal right to do so.
I mean, respect to him if he gets it. A couple of kills though from Apeks, and they could find something. I mean, there's Kayak getting an ultimate orb towards his. That's the showstopper online for them.
Are they
Waiting
going to
in the wings,
force
Apeks.
back over towards
Standard
A and they're
attacking
just waiting
play.
for the one way?
Early
Oh,
control
it's a
towards
smoke on the
left
floor.
side
They
of the
should be
map
pretty
and
happy with
now
that,
for
but
the
the Prowler's
spike
the one that
headed
has to clear
elsewhere.
this, so
Mulsi and Kayak. The prominent Polish duo trying to tee
looks like
each
some
other
kind
up.
of fake over towards
It
it
was
and then
Mulsi
Inti going to
who
hit
was
A.
carrying Kayak
Whoa.
around the Apeks facility
Wait, he
earlier
hit
today,
that?
but he's
That's
gotta
kind of
lift
impressive
himself
that he
through
managed to get that. I
engagement.
would love to see his
Tyson
POV in
trade
terms
on
of
the
kayaks
ults.
there.
Both races
And this
gone
guy
now, all eyes on
can
Ape
win
and
the
A,
round.
but he gives up the game and the site goes with it.
You can understand why he's there. He's trying to give as much passive
Yeah, because
information
honestly,
as
it looked like the
possible.
Rays
The
made.
players
It
haven't
looked like
got
both
towards
Raises
A,
made really good
still
decisions
alive.
here. I would
That's
love
no
to see
longer the
replay. I
case,
kind of like to see
mate.
both of their
Straight on
POVs, but I'm not sure we have
towards
the.
A side.
Not sure we have the
Control
technology
engagement
here.
is also good. It's Viper though.
7. It's a shame they had a really good start.
But
when it kinda got to the buy rounds, Apeks were in control. Still, 5 could be okay.
A serious sunken cost fallacy about some of the rounds that SweetNSour play. You know, like you suddenly see the big moment, name in lights, this group of rookie players in the league to
Really envy my
themselves
dedication
known,
towards
but
my work.
as soon
Personally,
as that
unable
happens,
to do
it's
it.
already too far
When it comes
gone,
to
it
skills, I
feels.
just keep consistent.
Yeah, Fanzam gets a double,
First of all,
but
I
it's
love
Soulcast's kills
doing
before that are that much
this,
more
to be
important.
honest.
7 to 5
Second
the
of
scoreline
all,
says.
you got loads of
And
stuff that are like
SweetNSour,
out of
I
your
think, will be
hand in
happy
life.
with 5
So
rounds.
the
They
one
picked
good
up
thing
the
you can do
first
is like
pistol,
work
that
ethic.
certainly buffered it.
Kind
The
of
bonus
my
going with it.
you on it.
Now
Plus,
as when push comes to
when you've
shove,
been an
because
observer and
Lotus
you
for
watch
me
like
is
you watch
the
like
real heart,
years
the
and
beating
years of
heart their
UK just
lifeline
not being there,
in
that
this
like really
tournament.
inspired me to actually like. Because I watched like 5 years of just UK teams not having any impact in Valorant. That was like the main reason I went into coaching anyway. That beat me down, man. Just watching, just never seeing any good UK teams. Maybe like a few players. That's about it.
Waiting to be sprung
So,
once again. It's almost like the first
yeah.
pistol round that we saw.
Just work
As
ethic is the only
Apeks
thing you can
and
control,
SweetNSour
basically.
brawl it out. It's actually SweetNSour that come out on top just momentarily, still swinging through, still trading it.
Maybe a little
each
double
other.
pistol.
2v2. Hype
They got
finally
Omen Flash
breaks
still
the
over
door,
towards Saint.
But everybody's gone. They're already on the site, Hazza.
Again, the merit here for SweetNSour is the sharpshooters, because you look at the utility game. They ate a face.
They're not going to fully push down though, are they?
Now a
Oh
fight
no.
to be taken in the 2v2. Avova up close, spots out Apen. First fight and the second to go with
3-1 in terms
Those
of pistols,
spike plant
1-1.
Situation played a little differently
And
than most would
yeah,
expect.
bit of a
It will
nightmare.
not work out for them this
Could
time.
I mean, Hazza,
Could
though,
have
why
done
would
with a
you
double
go
pistol,
searching
yeah.
in towards CT there when you have the site? Fair enough, there might be someone having. I know it's decisions that we don't have control of, but I'm pretty sure you would prefer to get that spike down.
It's tough, right? Because I think there's
Yeah,
a
Prodigy,
world where
that needs to happen,
SweetNSour
bro.
take those jewels, you find a player by themselves. Quick trade, something of the sort.
Make it a
Worst
thing.
case scenario, 1v1. They wanted an advantage because it's never a level playing field against these guys.
Hey, Tether out into the open for the eco, just in case they were going to go aggro. Yeah, and they at least get the orb. They go aggro over towards C, they split in towards B. I mean, they've chosen the most perfect site right now, so there's an okay chance they can at least get some damage done.
Well, a checkbox on a round like
But where are they
this,
going? They're everywhere.
You can fill in the blanks with a spike plant, trade through the door. In terms of getting this gun back, yeah, they're going to push it and extend one step further. A fight on Avova, 2 players that they'll have to handle if they go for it, but at the same time, it's a reaction towards Creamy's direction that makes it more worrisome.
Big
That's
right
why
click.
they fight from on the site itself.
That's unlucky, man. 21 HP. Hey, well, they're still doing okay damage. Still a good eco from them. Yeah, it's still okay. It's still a pretty good eco.
The molly will dissipate, and so will the rest of SweetNSour as Apeks continue to push that boat out.
Yeah, I mean, Creamy's call for help is left unanswered from the heavens in upper. I would love to have seen SweetNSour just force the issue through Mound there. You know, okay, worst case scenario, one more player. You take the duel and you hope that the numbers can bail you out.
Are also
Some
coached
kind of
us.
upgrades.
Wait, really,
to
Desp? They said that in the interview.
create a catalyst in the round, but now on to the
That's
next.
so
And the
funny.
most important one.
Have I seen your format, by the way?
series so
Oh,
far in
Lewis, I
my
don't
eyes,
even want to
because
see it, do I?
you
Is
drop
this
the
the one where
ball
it's
on the
like...
map of your
Is this the
choosing.
one where I saw... I think I briefly saw
Apeks will
this.
bring
This is the
maximum
one where it's
punishment.
like...
It's an Odin in play, calling upon the
And then this
gods
happens or
to
something?
gift
Is
them
it like
something
this?
Here.
Or is this someone? Is this somewhere else?
Will be needed.
Triple a limb bracket?
Already
Triple a
feeling
limb?
The pressure. And Apeks, I mean, they're only going to rotate one over as mostly looking to
Yeah, I
hold
think I
on
briefly
towards
saw
eight.
something. You
So
can
we'll
send me it,
see
man.
utility
Let me have a
Pexy
look at one
making it
point.
all the way through the mollies.
Valorant and format issues.
Players on site. Yeah, I mean, you have to call on the divine to beat the quality that Apeks have, the elite.
Still
of
no
the
plan on this
division.
one. Omen's
Solcast
going
got
in. We
this
get an
time,
Omen
though.
flash, but the damage
His
should be
utility had been
done.
burned through a couple
See how
of
much
times
damage they
towards
can
A,
do.
just
If you're
fake
Apeks, you want to
pressure,
try and get at
fully
least 2
committed
kills.
to SweetNSour.
Onto the
Not
middle, because
taking
there's
their foot
the place
off
in
of the
Fury that
gas
won't get
pedal
spammed.
in these rounds
Just
that we've
securing
seen
that
from
they're
them on the attack thus
spamming
far.
the right here, just in case it's the better plant, so it's not a plant for Mound. Big duel for the race.
4 players dedicated
that's
to
the round
world
done.
holding this site, and well, there's the spam zam coming through once again. Nothing
Turret
through
had
walls,
first
just gonna-
contact.
Wait, this fade eye was everything.
It's just gonna go away, just up to Mosey.
Yeah, they're the 2
Fair
kills that
enough,
they wanted.
that's Good 2 shots, but onto 8 HP. Has that? It's gonna be SweetNSour once again to convert that most important round.
Probably.
Like you say, it was a rigid sight hold as well that they had, and I mentioned it there. The turret was watching the flank. Fanzam
Wait, we
takes
got a
the
message
fight in
back
front
from
of
Sean.
it. If he'd have lost it out, then maybe there would have been question marks. But I think they realised that the penny had dropped. We needed to do something here, and again, it's important to recognise
Oh,
that
man.
with a team
Sean
like
might not be able
this,
to
when
stream
take
tonight.
your chances on an engagement. Apeks put all of their eggs in the C fight basket, I suppose, not the site.
Yeah, we'll
It's even
see.
further than that, but
Alright.
they'll cast the banner early.
We maybe watch party tonight with Sean. Maybe not. We'll see if he can make it.
Again, this mound pressure being put on.
If not, we'll do it for another game.
It's almost like deja
Love
vu.
that they
It's a
go
mirror
aggro here, man.
matchup,
This
a
Omen
mirror
flash is
play, but it's
perfect as
Apeks
well.
that
Spike
come out
committed on
and
top.
completely smash
Yeah.
SweetNSour all through.
Big buy rounds. They go for a 4-person start over towards C to lock it
Didn't
down.
feel like SweetNSour were fully reading
Yeah,
for the
I
same
enjoy when
hit sheet
teams do
there,
these
and
kind of risks, to be
another
honest. I think
ballad
that,
of
again,
death goes off without
people have
a
been
hitch
watching the
for
stream for a
Apeks.
while. I feel like sometimes
So
it's nice to see when a team has like good
highly aware that
fundamentals
this
and they
area of the
understand
map
like
is overloaded. A target-rich
how to play the
environment
game,
for him
but
to
I do think like
upload the
teams
Odin's
sometimes
magazine
lack
into,
like risks.
and it already
I
claims
think
its
Paper
first
Rex is like a
victim.
good
Hype's gone
example of
down,
how that can
Cloud
work sometimes.
onto the spike. Actually, no, it's just slightly fallen short, so not quite able to bridge the gap as he'd hoped.
And
but
it's not like this is a
Flank
bad
from
risk. Most people
does
aren't going to go
exactly what
fast
you
on
think.
their buy round anyway.
Engagement on Mound wins Apeks.
So yeah, I love this.
Because what else is there to say, as you say, Hazza? It was the disconnect from SweetNSour and how they tried to re-engage after the one-way, and it just was an absolute smash.
Yeah, Snubs, there'll be something about the what's on the floor.
Passing that one up on the SweetNSour side though. And
Yeah, and a bit
again,
of a nightmare. They win
Aphid as
one,
well, I think he's
lose
been a
the
little
next,
heavy-handed in
got an
calling
eco,
some of these two
and
to sort of
the
take
3-0 is
engagements.
definitely on the
As I
cards.
said before, it feels like they're
Still no
flying
map
straight
loss
into
right
every
for them,
round. A couple
I
of
think,
those like A defaults too,
mental.
where you've baited out some of the Viper utility and then just ran in after it anyway. A slight lack of care in my eyes. The duty of it for Kayak on the B site this time.
Shot.
Oh man, even blind.
Great.
Still have to use the ultimate to get rid. Still a trade back and forth.
The shots into this round though.
They take that significant lead in the round. Up to Taisy, the young 18-year-old, the duelist, coming up against so many talented and experienced players. Spike in no man's land and no hope of getting the up.
Hey,
Down to
lovely.
one
I mean, they did really
HP
good
win.
damage considering it was
6 foot
low buy.
under
Like,
the
you gotta look
goal.
at this and think that was very
Under a
winnable.
tree, 11-6, and it is just the old oak of Apeks that continue to win out these rounds.
roots planted in the region.
Apeks
Split
is insane.
after
Yeah,
split. This would be
he's a
their
beast,
third
man.
successive title and first with the new roster. Cruise control now towards what looks like a second map, and as I said before, the chance
Ascension,
to make themselves immortal.
I don't know
in
enough
those
about like
history books
Pacific Tier
has to be
2,
something you're thinking about, because
but
for many,
I'm
myself
pretty
included,
excited
coming
for
into
the
this, they would have
Ascension,
said,
EMEA, and
"Look,
Americas.
I don't know if I fancy the chances of this roster. There are a couple of maybe bad performances in the big leagues last year, but far from the case at this point in time. The VCT EMEA champion puts down his mark with a pit early, which SweetNSour will run straight into.
Yeah, they're just trying to disrespect what Apeks have put forward. And Ticey being the first one to do it.
Did not love this round. Did not love it. Yeah, they really just tried to send it in, and they kind of just got util dumped back.
SweetNSour, where did they go? I mean, B, a mound, B, main has been taken, A has been pushed, C's got a Viper's pit, where do you go?
I'm hoping that there would be a D site. I still don't know which they go to.
He feels like he spammed it.
Apeks closing a lot of ground on SweetNSour as well. They can smell the blood in the water, and Mulsey hungry for it, perhaps. The red mist descending before his eyes is what takes him out of the game, because now a 3 versus 4 from the shadows reposition. Spike on the back.
I'm surprised they didn't get that kill and just absolutely send it there.
Done here, but it comes down to Creamy in my eyes.
Because you would think if someone was this close that maybe someone wasn't over towards B.
Again, we've seen this before. Not checking behind the box is what punishes you. That's exactly the case. It's up to the last 2 remaining controllers for SweetNSour, and just ones that have been gifted to Apeks, and every single time it's Apeks that win them out. Yeah, you can tell hype's been put through the ringer after that previous map.
Still secure in it.
When you actually go back and look at the statistics for first Jules, he went +3, 4 and 1. You know, maybe a lack of discipline here and there, but like, look, well, what is it? Birds to a feather.
I mean,
like
it means
I
the
say,
same thing,
a drop in the
Jigsaw.
puddle. An ocean-wide gap now between the 2 teams that we've seen open up. And well, the 5 rounds which SweetNSour had on that first half into the second, they'll make it a 6th, but nothing more.
Analysis on the latest Bren tweet. Bro, Bren's Twitter is wild, man. You never know what to expect. It's either something completely crazy and some kind of picture of him or like a cat or something with some weird quote, or it's him 1v3ing on Plat Chat with the predictions.
And it was always going to be
that's all it is, man.
Because we can speak of
it's something like that.
They've just not been.
To be fair, though, were people watching his YouTube when he went to Japan? Was it Japan? And he was just randomly just recording videos all the time. That was a great, time for everyone.
On the SweetNSour side this
he had some good stories from just nights out.
Still going, as is Soulcast. Another highlight
shot, bro.
Headshot through the wall, but he's unperturbed. Nearly a 4. But the fact of the matter is, it's an equalizing kill, one which Kayak can spin off the back.
Oh, that was unlucky, man. The satchel. I mean, honestly, did he just put the satchel too high? He nearly got back around the corner. It was a good attempt. Got Fade Eye for this one, low HP. Prowler.
Could be a clutch which closes.
Or just shoot him. Yeah, and in theory this was going to be the closest map, and they got 6. They had a really good start, but it's similar to the map before where they had like a good start, and then the Byrons come in and they just start hopping them.
That are going to be in prime position.
Mulsey, shake of the hand there on Kayak. Both of those guys looked unstoppable in map number 2. Haven't missed a beat so far. And in terms of missing out a map, there's only one more now between them and laying their hands on more silverware in the second tier. You look at the combination of Icebox as well. 4 rounds, 6 here, 10 overall.
Do I like candles? Is this like one of these D's nuts joke, or is this just a normal question?
And for me, that is the most disappointing part, that it has
candles? I mean, candles are fine.
Yeah,
like I'm in for them sometimes. I'm not gonna go out of my way to like put one on, but if there's one in the room, I'm not gonna be furious or anything. There's some decent smells out there, man. I can't really have them in this house too much because we have 2 bunnies, and they're majority of the time they're not good at them. I'm paranoid, bro. I got burnt in the first year of streaming. Too many clips of me falling for stuff.
I mean, running away is easy enough for Apeks, but the leaving is hard, and we'll leave you for just a little moment longer.
Dude, that one doesn't even work, man. A wingman candle. Insane, man. You insane. Where is your brain right now? The mini streams, yeah. Need to try persuade Mini to do some more content next year. He really wanted to go back for the coaching. Yeah, the mini takeover was pretty funny, man. I checked in every so often, or at least like would check the end of the streams and just check out the clips. Some of the clips were very funny, man. How much more free time does Mini actually have now compared to head coach these days? Dude, I'm not even sure he does, man. Not sure. I think the only thing that changed for him is that he's in UK and he's not in Berlin. I think that's the only thing that changed. I'm pretty sure he just has no free time still. I don't think it worked as well as he was hoping. It's so much work, bro. It really is. Whether you're coach or assistant coach, this is the thing. It's just like there's always something that you can improve on in your team. So it's like never ending work. Okay, let me spam some ads. We'll be back in a little bit, chat. We will be. Oh, hold up. Snops with 25 to the Earth Day. $25 for Earth Day. Shout out to Snops. Chat, you know what to do. This was 40 minutes ago, Snops, but I think I saw you earlier, so I know you're still here. Let's get the Slug Earth spam going. Thank you for the nice comments as well, bro. Appreciate that. $25 was a solid amount, man. Appreciate you for doing that. Predictions for VCT Pacific, bro. I get all my predictions wrong, man. You don't want to know them. There is a video though if you do actually want to know them. But my hit record must be crazy low. I'm the equivalent of just. I mean, I should just be coin flipping. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. Again, Snops, shout out to you, bro. Am I off the Paper X train? No, not a chance, dude. I'm still in. I'm doubling down, if anything. I'm not making that mistake again.
You will never understand what I went through. You never were a good listener. A good listener. You will never understand what you put me through. And you never be a good lover. A good lover. At first I believed I was the lucky one, but I was just fooling myself. Fooling myself. You think you can talk sense to me, like we are gonna be okay. We're not okay. So is this gonna take all night? one time, yeah, you're damn right. Already gave you my love once, but now I'm fed up, gonna take it all back, 'cause we're a no-go. I know that I do better solo, so move along for God and shadow. Better get it right this time around, yeah, we're a no-go. I know that I do better solo, so move along for God and shadow. Better get it right this time around. Better get it right this time around, yeah, we're a no-go. I know that I do better solo, so move along.
So earlier this week, Apeks released a YouTube video where they did their version of Hot Ones, right? You know, like the whole like eating spicy sauces, trying to answer questions. I mentioned this because for Apeks, this sweet and sour, they just kind of devoured it, and it didn't look like it measured very high on the Scoville scale here on Lotus, did it, Marcus?
Oof. You said you were gonna come in with a hot one. You delivered.
Quite
I like-
literally.
Yeah. No, literally you delivered. Yeah, I mean, look, we were looking a little bit hopeful towards the start of this. I feel like we keep on getting false hope from Sweet and Sour. You see some really nice rounds, some nice ults, and then it kind of goes downhill quite fast. We were looking at the pattern from the last time these two faced off onto this map, and it was like two rounds to Sweet and Sour, then Apeks came back for a chunk, then they lost one, and they came back for a chunk. But this one, it was kind of like everything interesting, quotation marks interesting, happened at the start, and then it just ended up being more of a, I don't want to say stomp, because there were some close rounds. But
It just sort of developed, right? It just kind of
Yeah.
started to lean the way that it always felt it was going to go.
Yeah.
This is the second map of a full best of 5, but it might not even go that far. Apeks 20-0 on their map win and losses so far at this stage. Sweet and Sour doing a little bit better than they did on Icebox, but considering this is their main pick and they haven't
Let's try
been
that
able to
again.
ban out a map
Unmuted.
thus far,
El Schlampo, hello mate, how we
you'd
doing?
be hoping
Thank
for
you
better,
for the
right? You'd
17
be
months.
hoping for a similar score like the last time, which was 13-11 to Apeks. At least Sweet and Sour in that series looked a little bit more competitive.
yeah, I mean, this was the map where I said that we need to see Sweet and Sour come out, right? I felt like if they weren't going to show up this map, they're probably not going to show up at all, right? Because this was the closest they've ever pushed Apeks. I believe the closest any team had pushed Apeks, apart from OnlyFins, so I also think they brought it to a 13-11 as well. But it's annoying because, like I said, there was some really
Desperat.
good
What are you
moments at the
typing?
start, and then it kind of died out, right? And then it's so difficult because then you have people like Soulcast where you had some nice plays in Tree, but Soulcast just was better than them.
Wait,
in,
I'm on
in
sleep,
aiming,
dude.
right?
I woke
they,
up
they
early.
walked through the wall,
Well,
and they
I didn't
were
wake up early. I
instantly
had we got a
he's
2-0,
fast,
2-0 last
he's
night,
reactive.
and then I had a
You
little
can't
sleep after
Give
Pacific.
Soulcast these
Oh,
easy,
I'm
easy
feeling
clips,
great.
right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It felt that if he was in a fight to the death, backed into a corner, he was getting 2 before he was traded. And
Always.
I will always want to highlight Soulcast, not only because he has been the player of the tournament.
week, yeah, we're getting so many 2-0s,
from the
man.
start of 2024 to
Good,
now. In
they gotta throw me a
Polaris, but
curveball at one
also,
point.
It feels like pure vindication. If you've been a Soulcast fan since the time he was on Team Liquid, how much flack that he got from the beginning of being on that team when he was playing duelist over like Scream, to sort of maybe underperformances of Liquid at international events like Champions of 2020 and the like, to see Soulcast move down a level but still be absolutely stomping people and still seeking to improve with like aim training and stuff like that, it's a testament to how players when they can
G2
get knocked
Furia,
down out
C900
of like, tier 1
Thieves.
scene, then it doesn't
I mean,
mean that they're
G2 could
suddenly
be a
washed
2
and there's
now.
no opportunity. They're still fighting back, and if not,
C900
looking better
Thieves,
than they
that's a
did
third
before.
mapper.
So it's a huge stand-up player.
Unless
most
C9
certainly
just
for our region
pop
and the whole of
but I
Northern
think
Europe.
that's a third mapper.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about fight back as well, and there was definitely some key rounds during that game.
Dom,
where
yeah,
there
Dom's
was
always
some
working on his
form
aim.
of retaliation. But let's go and have a look at the Apeks Ego post plan on round 4, because this was this one was we were talking about this and we were like, okay, right, so has he saved the nade? Has Kayak saved the nade? And right now, he actually has saved the nade.
Unless he got the 2 kills beforehand, but
That he wouldn't have, because it would have said 3 at the top right now, right? A 3 kill.
right, yeah, true.
So he did save the nade.
With all of that, the aggression, I think he just used the showstopper in this round. But you have to remember, like, SweetNSour win the pistol, they win the bonus, and it was a really good bonus that really set them up nicely. So it just kind of feels like when you played up against Apeks, there's some kind of BS moments like this where a Vova was able to get out and survive. And even though SweetNSour are able to sort of try and get the kills to get
I mean, they
the
just had
defuse
confidence in the
end,
mollies.
it
It's the only reason they
ends up
didn't nade it, I
losing
think.
out to time.
DLV, hello,
another
mate.
round to
How's
highlight
things?
is
Thank you for the 8
round
months,
10
man.
after this.
Appreciate the
which
tier
was
1.
when it
Thank
was
you,
a full
thank
buy
you.
versus a full buy. SweetNSour come in aggressively. I just want to say, best moment of the game so far. This I'm running in with an Odin and managing to get the kill onto the Viper. But Apeks, in these like clutch situations, it's a 1 versus 2. They're still so dedicated and disciplined to play the time.
Know where
to
this
put the
report was?
pressure
Dude, I
really on
remember
SweetNSour,
seeing this somewhere.
And it felt like
They made
those
it all
2 rounds in
public, right? His
particular,
like aim
after
routine
that,
or
the
like
momentum definitely swung in the way of Apeks. for
all
them
of
to close
the
it out,
analysis
because
of what
he
he needed
only
to
got
work
one more
on
round
aim-wise.
after this one. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
rough time.
Even looking at that round,
Yeah, I never had time to look at it, but it looked crazy in depth.
In that situation, you know where hype is, right?
I would like to get something
The bomb
like
is
that
not-
done just
it's
out of
not
pure
really planted for
curiosity.
him.
I think
Yes,
obviously I
he
would
has
need to play
swing
better,
out,
so
right,
like
to
my
check
aim's
the
actually
bomb.
like more
It even
consistent.
doesn't have to be like
I'm pretty
floating
pretty
around
confident.
no
I
man's
think I
land,
know
ready
what my
for that
issues
smoke to
are
drop.
aim wise, but
Like, he could
I
have
mean
just
I just
played
don't play
high
enough
and
to
low
even
position, which we see very commonly on
even
this map. We see someone play top
consider
platform and
having
someone
looked at.
under, right? They could have either got the bomb half, or
Where
they
can
could
you
have
find it? I
tapped
mean,
and
Snops, if you know
held.
where it
I
is,
feel like in that situation, there's like a bit of
you can post
panic
it for sure.
setting in, right? And I feel like maybe up against a team like Apeks, you can't panic like that. If it was any other team they were up against, maybe only Finns, when we
It
saw
was
them
pretty cool.
dominate on Saturday.
It looked pretty cool. It looked really in
Maybe that
depth.
would have been a bit cleaner, but it's those little things that make a team go from great.
Barlow once hired an aim
Excellent.
coach and showed the coach's
Yeah.
feedback
and
on
I
stream.
think
It was
that a lot
crazy
of
in
teams
depth.
have made mistakes
Interesting,
against
man.
SweetNSour by
Yeah.
kind of falling
it's all
into
getting
that
next
rough,
level. It
muddy
really
Valorant
is.
playstyle, right? But I think
It's been
Apeks
fun
here,
to kind of see
it's good
like
that they're not
the
almost
improvement of just or just
we're
like
better
how
than
in
this,
depth,
right? Where
and
we
I guess
should be
nerdy
a
it's
tier
getting.
1 team. It should be our classics that people are using.
Yeah, when was that-
kinda
when was
like,
that
okay,
first
this is
playing?
going to be scrappy. SweetNSour want to play this kind of
15
game.
plus years ago.
We're going to like fight fire with fire and show that we can like deal with these kind of moments. So Apeks looking multifaceted, but not afraid from a good scrap now and again, especially when it comes to like mechanical duels. But I did want to highlight like a good moment for SweetNSour. Like
That's
this is
the
a team that
Soulcast aim
maybe
thing?
most
Nice,
of you,
bro.
you know,
Thank you for
Sluggy's
that.
chat especially, might not recognize any of these names. But I think that this retake from them was really good. We saw like a Season Aid combo come in, the Paranoid to cut across as well. And all in all, SweetNSour, once they can get their ducks in order, once they can get this utility out, the Snakebite, the Prowler there, it was a fantastic retake on a B site where Apeks, like I said, are trying to play it a little bit scrappy. SweetNSour are the ones that come out with a class here.
Yeah, I mean, it also felt like Soulcast had quite late mollies as well. I think that was more reactive mollies rather than proactive mollies. And I feel like
What are they? Are they just like
I feel like in
are they just a group
post-plant,
of aim
you
trainers?
kind
Is that
of
what it is? Like a
have to
group
be
of
proactive
aim
when
coaches?
you fire their mollies. You can't wait for the tap to then fire because the travel time as well. It was unfortunate that he couldn't find the retake. I suppose again, if those mollies are a bit quicker, maybe him and Hype could have then grouped up to actually take that fight onto site. But
The
look,
whole community.
it was a nice round from SweetNSour. You do have to, you know, give them credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, that was the map where we needed to see them win because right now
that's
we're
so
going
niche.
down
It's pretty sick, though.
very scary path.
I think it's a
We're
good
now
sign
on
when
to
actual
Sunset,
pros
where
are
we last saw them play.
like
was during
open
the
to
split.
learning that,
It was during the split. Yeah, it was during the
or
split.
at least open
And
to like hearing what they have to say.
It was what was Lotus? It was
13-7,
Sunset.
right?
Sorry, 13-7. Yeah, so
Yeah.
scary.
It is. The other good thing, I suppose, for SweetNSour here is you had just beaten OnlyFins 13-4.
Yep.
Apeks just beat them 13-2. Like, granted, OnlyFins tried to change up their comp because it went so badly against Apeks, but SweetNSour
Lotus has been using it as well. What is it? Just like
SweetNSour choosing to
just like the
defend
other,
here. Like, this is like a comp
like
play
a
style
Kovacs
they've been
name
set up
maps
with.
or-
They've been keen to play the Gecko KO, like a lot of teams have been running. And Apeks, they've been a little bit more experimental. We saw them playing a lot of Euro very early on in the stage, but have moved over to take Paper X's old comp, the no duelist with the Sage, stuff like that. Maybe when Paper X was over here from Madrid, they scrimmed Apeks, and Apeks were like, we're going to take that, actually. It's kind of a cool comp. Did he actually say that?
I believe in the last interview with them, they did say they scrimmed them and they loved the comp. And that's why they've taken it on board. And when you have a player very similar to
But I think about Phoenix on Icebox, I think there's better agents.
You can take these comps and you can
make it work though.
them. I feel like look, I'm biased, obviously.
There's some
do
better
prefer
agents.
The Gecko comp over the Breach Raze Yoru comp. Because also I think that one thing that I think
maybe one of the better maps for it
is how good
in theory though.
Sage.
I guess
Sage, I feel like right now is one of those agents that, especially on a map like Sunset, it's very
wait, they play this comp
to utilize, and most of the time when they do a really nice wall for CT. Not deep CT.
They use it.
Like, off
they use
the
it same
default
way
box.
as.
I can't describe it. You know, as soon as they
use it
walk
same
out
way
with elbow, it's like
Paper X?
instant wall.
Yeah, and also just the wall to get onto the B site without having to worry about trips and being sprayed.
My favorite,
right?
my
Just
favorite
that extra
compliment
bit of
map.
protection. But it is funny because Paper X, I think, have moved away from this comp to play other stuff now that Jing's back. So Apeks are like, they're pretty much the main proponents of it now. It's a comp that they've been playing consistently with. They tried out some of the Euro, but we're seeing Kayak now over on the Gecko to play no duelists whatsoever. It really is a question of like SweetNSour, how prepared are you for this? For SweetNSour's comp on Apex's side, like you play this comp against
Paper X might
teams
go
all
back
the
to this
time,
comp.
especially
Yeah,
if they're
maybe.
against tier 1 teams.
It did. I mean, it looked slightly off.
It's,
that was still a
pressure is
masterclass
all
game
on
though from Team
SweetNSour
Secret.
to actually take a map off of Apeks, who are going to play likely a flawless tournament so far, unless SweetNSour can put a stop to it. Could be the final map of the stage, maybe the final map of the day. So let's see it out in style. Hazza and Cairo.
Thanks, guys. We travel now to the city at the end of the sun, and it could be the end of the line for SweetNSour in this competition. Their grand final so far is going for them worse than the group game.
Yeah, it really is. We've literally seen in that last map, SweetNSour win.
Yeah, I might have to
like,
check out the same stuff.
almost
Sounds pretty
half
cool.
the rounds in the first
Maybe
3
when we get more
rounds
time.
compared to the rest of the map. Let's hope Sunset is a bit different. The last time they played, it was 13-7. We need a big improvement, not only just in this series, but just overall, man.
I'm glad that
What's
you
the
mentioned
trip
it
break?
as well,
Majority of
because
the time
those 7
KO.
rounds is more than what they've got to show for
You can
on
either
any of the two that
hit
we've
the
seen
cipher
so
with
far.
your
The Veto at the
knife,
start,
or
pretty
and
much
then
the same
shoot them
to
as they get
what we
revealed,
saw in
or
those
out here just using the
three
molly.
maps at the top left-hand corner of your screen. Breeze
knows
was
a Viper molly,
unplayed, and
but-
may remain to be the case here as well. Apeks
Gotta be pretty
on
nerdy
the
for that
chase,
stuff.
making some serious legend of themselves.
Knife goes in, does get dodged. They have a trip early here. And they go for the Paper X. They go for the Paper X wall, and we are biding our time with this one. Do I shoot it? Do I shoot it? Yes, I do. That is the spike. That is everyone here. And I used to talk about this comp in terms of Paper X, and it's very hard to get through this choke point. It's like the only thing that the comp struggles at. But when you have this wall and it kind of blocks vision here, it should make it a lot easier.
Seems to be the case, and
maybe they were on a different page here, because it felt like they wanted to crunch middle heavy, and then these two bailed from market.
Yeah, they're putting SweetNSour in a bad spot. They have tried to fight.
They were 3-3, and they still have spike. They need to gamble, take B main control. Not even gamble. It looks like they've seen all the numbers. 50 seconds, so Apeks can just relax a little bit.
I mean, both teams have reacted. SweetNSour, the defender's the one that made the first move. Tempo still tapping away, though. Another dome decimated by him.
Bro's out here just dueling on his own. I was trying to look on the
beneath his
minimap to see if his team was
And a
fighting
smoke
with him.
placed on top
Just out here
means that
dueling.
difficult,
30
doesn't quite
seconds
scratch
left.
the surface for Apeks to try and unpack what's in front of them with only 25 seconds left.
Smoke goes. This is it. This is where the gunfight's
Uh-oh.
going to be easier. And here we
Big
go.
1v1.
Down to 1 versus 1.
Yeah, and he can just go back aside and plant.
So low,
Got a nade
might
for
have
this.
to just commit to this. Ticey's nade is back up, but it's not hit where it wants to. Now here comes the engagement.
Minimal damage, and the wall is up here for Hype as well, so he can reposition to the corner.
Oh.
Ticey going in a corner
Damn,
themselves,
bro,
and
it's
they've put
unlucky for
themselves
them.
in a corner, in
Nicely
a
done from
box,
Hype,
and back to
and they kind of
spawn.
played the 3v3 pretty
delivered
well.
by Apeks, and even a little BM sent back their way.
Mate, he pretty much knew exactly what he was doing there. The guy even
shots
walked,
been
didn't make any sound. He was just
hazardously
on top of it the
thrown
whole time.
From one end more than the
Polak,
other.
how we doing, mate? Thank you for the
Apeks
14 months. Thank you for the tier 1.
Needed to be
Good to see you,
commanded
dude.
that kind of respect
What is
by
this?
Sweet and
What is this
Sour
cake
because
next to your name?
honestly, they have been brought
Nice.
down on one knee here already, and Apeks with one hand on the trophy.
All one
I've
for
heard that
pistols?
it's,
Yeah,
aim
it's pretty
forward style.
one-sided.
The noisy neighbours as have been called many a time.
Two deaths are
and that's all it seems
Chat, I need to restart. When this starts happening, and again, this is proof right now. This is proof. You know the 0 that I've drawn? This is proof of it. Look at this straight line.
In terms of how they approach
Look at
this
that.
round,
I need to restart the
sheriffs,
PC. It starts doing this
heavy on the B
sometimes.
side.
It's not going to do it again, but this is
Apeks
proof.
will look to play
But
into
sometimes it
Multi
just does a straight
is
line.
not a classic.
Means I need to restart the PC.
Whether he's just
God of Land.
saving up for that attack-sided op for Kayak to try and work a la PRX comp that we were speaking about earlier.
Sheriffs.
Well, that's a bit of information out on A main though. The fact that Hype's been caught there.
Same thing again over towards B. Wall goes in. Wingman. Fake. This time not with the spike to try and create a lot of pressure. See if they're stacking over towards here. Once they realize they're stacking, they try and take some space. And now what? Gonna absolutely send it an overwhelm, knowing that the retake's probably, or the rotate's probably coming in.
Repositioning deep and
Yeah, they might get into a good spot here. They're gonna have a few people. We've got a KO flash that maybe goes over the top to help his team. Or they just send it. Oi, 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 we missed our jump here as well. They're gonna get ecoed, man. Okay, nicely done on this. Yeah, nicely done. And it all kind of came down to that one guy getting the kill over towards here from the insta reaction. Didn't mind it around from Apeks in terms of trying to bait out to see if people were stacking over towards B.
We haven't seen that so far in the
But
series,
then it all came
again,
crumbling
little
down,
things such
and
as
they got
this can
so
make
many
all of the
upgrades.
difference. Mossy, without a purchase, has allowed for a Vandal to come and play a rogue rifle with the stack of finance that they had, but a big loss for them. For the defenders as well to get up and running. Sure, Sweet and Sour have won.
Just restart
pistols
Epic
on
Pen. Yeah,
the
dude, I did
previous
that the other
couple
day though,
maps
and
not
it
made
still
too much more of
still
it.
kept on going. So I think it's
you
my
can
PC.
Tell what
but
I'm getting to here. It has
I'll
to be
restart it
more
before
than just a
America's,
flash in
it's
the pan.
Absolutely love the fake with the wingman as well. It's just so unfortunate that it doesn't get any value in the end. It's known about destroying
One hero gun for Hype.
to make Temple peek out. Again though, it's something they're gonna have. Sweet and Sour
Okay,
will
just
have to
inserting one over
dedicate
towards
resources
middle.
to
Insta
watch.
reaction from losing middle is to push down. That's now a gun available, and they're here ready to group and take this fast, and they definitely want this gun.
The pressure that's been put towards him.
Oops. Ah.
Oh, Fam Sam, what a shot. The Gecko Jewel and as Apeks line up for their coronation.
Yeah, second gun picked up by Soulcast though.
It takes the head, which the crown could be very well sitting on
Guardian,
soon
one of his
enough.
favorites. Again, we used to do practice where I'd just make him and Scream only buy a
It's
Guardian
pretty
just to
much
see,
open though, right? There
just
is
to see if
still
it
a
was
lot
better
of
for
key
them.
tools in this
Just to
retake.
see if it was like
Every single
viable in
flash
terms of dropping
available
other
on the
people
Sweet and
guns
Sour
as well.
side.
It's the cut of the noise, the doubt that's going to be in
There's-
the back of Sweet and
We were
Sour.
just like a lot of time at the beginning of the game, it felt like everyone was allergic to buying the low guns. So I used to just do practices where we would force the low guns just so they would actually just realize that they were decent.
And finally, Apeks in position to try and get this one over the line, especially with getting rid of Bamzam here. There's still 2 rifles in their hands, Hazza.
Really big kill from Molsey.
Oh.
Beyond the veil, he finds another
This
straight
is a
through
shame,
the
man.
post box.
Gonna lose this one too.
Aphen delivered.
Okay.
Creamy 2 back. That
Let's
is
see the aim training.
equaliser, But Soulcast in a 1 versus 2. It's
There's your aim
matching
training,
everyone.
lovely. We even had to jump
guy
around the
is
corner
just
to try and make it harder.
unkillable. 2 massive kills to
Solid,
give
man,
Apeks
solid
their
shots.
second.
Sensational from Soulcast. What more can you ask of him? So much in the back pocket. Your MVP of the group stage and well, might as well just be the MVP of the playoffs as well. Fantastic from him. Fantastic from Apeks.
Spacing was bad, they didn't know where he was.
Back any critics of that last round.
Like the spacing might have been good for if he was like
Exactly as
this
you put
angle.
it.
It's the fact that he's in a
The
tighter
success
angle,
is
right? It's kind
short-lived
of
for Sweet and Sour.
kind of hindsight.
I'm still trying to do his
Especially in
job as best
1vx
as possible
situations,
towards the
right? Say
A
it's like a
side of
1v2.
things.
This is one thing that I see a lot. I see a lot of people talking about spacing in 1v2s, but you got to remember what we can see and what they don't know in terms of info. Like the spacing can always be bad for some stuff. Like you sometimes will see some guy running in, but some person holding an angle just in case they peek here. Like when you don't know where they are, you gotta take that into account.
Fight out of over. Unfortunately, the wall's not worked out that we've seen so often. They pushed the Omen in such a good spot instead, though.
Yeah, it's like it's honestly the most common thing where people will just like talk about spacing. Just like if a lot of time they don't know where they are.
That sleight of hand has already been shown, and Hype guarding the backlines with his life. Apeks getting up to a third. Now I'm curious to see what the buy is going to look like.
Yeah, so they just accept this one in terms of the money, and now we get a big buy round, and they're up against 3 ults, and they might want to go aggro somewhere to try and get an ult of their own, to be honest, or they want to go super aggro and just make sure that they don't get exec on in terms of this many ults.
Because as I mentioned before, everyone on the SweetNSour side can shoot. Make yourself familiar with it. It's these other layers of the game which pick apart the plan. Early utility coming out from
they
Apeks.
just insta-send it. 3 people here, 1 person, 2 people committed to the site. Let's see. Whoa. I mean, that'll do it as well. Kind of baited in his teammate, taking the first angle. And lovely to send it through as they go for the res. This was huge, man. Their actual, I mean, just how they handled this was good. Maybe you could say that Apeks needed to go someone's side as well, because this guy was just free dueling from here.
Hype with a pit? Surely not. A long pair of arms to get to where the spike is, but he's got all of the utility you could possibly dream of to live this one out in lucid fashion.
Just doubting himself though, as you can see it, just dancing between the angles. Wondering where the next peak comes from.
I mean, the thing is for him right now, he's just thinking like, they're gonna play for the spike. There's no way they just let me take this. Look at him, he's like, there's no way that I'm just allowed to take this. And even just taps to the spike thinking, well, they're probably just gonna take elbow and then duel me.
Is Hype gonna commit his ult? Does he?
And then now he's like, well, they got so much space, they have to be like next to me. Dude, he's... Oh man, that was funny to watch. And honestly, they played this really well in the 3v1. Like letting him have the spike and just making him think of all of the different scenarios that could be happening is great.
Yeah, Hype didn't quite have the bottle, the gumption, the cojones to commit, but FamZam lays it all on the line here and well finished off by the rest of SweetNSour. So making good of the buy round. No ults.
Yeah, and it was dude, this is a big win. The good news for Apeks was they only used 1 ult. The bad news is they're up against 4 ults now, and they decide to go aggro or not. Razor's a little bit late for this.
The established order, the monarchy in the region.
Wait, nice little pinch on this one with the ult. What's the backup once you get here?
Straight back to spawn.
Yeah. I mean, the respect and the pressure that SweetNSour are putting on, they've turned up this
Yeah,
map so far.
I mean, when they pinched all of this and Apeks just turtle over towards spawn.
Yeah. It's the back end which is spring-loaded, though. As is the A site. Plenty of utility here. That knife trying to clear towards elbow, really. Or if anyone had made the jump, which they haven't. Aggressive stance held towards B, but Afen is solo, and it's those first engagements.
Yeah, I like this though from SNS. They just leave all of the map control, right? Heavy question marks made that they have to try and clear. They pretty much just leave them all, make sure they use util, or you're at least going to try and hear them re-clear. Just taking far back info to see if they have actually cleared it or not. And they're one way over towards B, and they didn't take B main, so they can probably heavy stack over towards A, but it's a map where you fight for one side, retake the other, and at the moment we can see retake over towards A.
Kayak's at the back of the pack.
Does he pop his ult when he sees them, or do they just save it for retake? Well, they took a gamble on this.
FamZam, of course, one of his own, and then on command. So heavy on the retake side here, SweetNSour.
I've hit 2, I think.
Tempo not in a position to do
insta
too much
pops
about
his
it yet,
ult.
and yeah, null command does come in. Everyone's suppressed, but still duels to be taken, and they're split up both ways.
Traded out even.
Yeah, and everyone's just popping all of their ults into this one.
Somewhere near
Vova still has Omen Flash. That's the one that scares me. Omen Flash goes in. Dude, Apex. Wait, what? Soulcaster just dueling two people, and I feel like he had vision block here, but.
And get more than half of the spike. Soulcast just continuously firing you to Sweden, getting rid of any SweetNSour players close by. The crash will help out.
Holy, that was close, man. I can't believe they tried to stick that in terms of the ult. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure Dom can't see anyone here and he just gets 2 headshots.
You think about the core that they had before, but this team are just cold-blooded killers. And Mulsi, while he invites the possibility of a defuse, not on his watch. 5 ultimates used in that round, more importantly. Apeks with the majority.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get replay on it.
In terms of what SweetNSour have left.
The Viper ult, yeah, the Viper ult's really strong.
Talking about the economy state as well. The last couple of rounds have sort of really shaken them after how they got off to a decent start. They, again, couldn't snowball it any further. It melts between their fingers.
Shot bombs through the dizzy. They'll be easily picked back up and even having to dip away. You can see the pressure and how much SweetNSour trying to get towards the B site. Finally,
yeah, we got nothing, but they could cage vision block if they wanted to try flood site. We're going to have to keep an eye on the lurk on this one. And it's a pretty fast lurk considering the time. It's going to be a spam of this one, and they need to break the wall to create a little bit more pressure, you would think. And it's just an absolute spam fest. Loads of people are low. This nade did so much damage. Keep an eye on this. Going for it halfway through. They kill the lurk as well, but after he gets 2. It's so manic, bro. Yeah, it's half though. Wait, he played that nicely. I still think SNS gave this a very good try considering the actual plan itself. They did really good. This nade's chunked so many people.
Last man standing, lowest first deaths out of anyone in the league. And in those clutch situations, he is well experienced enough to handle the matter, take it into his own hands. And SweetNSour,
the smoke, yeah, dude. The after plants on B when the smoke comes up, especially when you have 5v5, it's just, well, it just reminds, it's exactly the same as when we have Pearl. And you're just like, well, there's going to be loads of kills and we're just going to see people spamming. We're going to see one POV of someone just spamming.
Newly announced play-ins to look forward to, or be in prime position for.
This is true. But again, against an organized outfit, that's not exactly where you fancy them. Creators of chaos, the best way to describe
Oh.
SweetNSour.
Wow, he hit him.
Afen still caught while he's managed
Doesn't get round the
it's
corner.
And
I like this from Apeks. They don't take any risks on this. Pressure marks create over towards here, and we'll keep an eye on Omen, because Omen could obviously make a play over towards B, can maybe just break the trip once they put the wall up as well. And they all stay quiet. Okay, I say as they go aggro. I like this from SNS though. Yeah, they went aggro to get the info, and that knife hits 3. With that, Omen decides to take a bit of a timing over towards B, hits the trip, so they know that he's locked over towards B. Oh.
Gets out on spot. In terms of middle, Tyce's taking
you got to expect that with the trip going down B, surely.
Bites off more than he can chew. Avova's position still just settled here. Turns around quick enough. Tempo with his cage.
Oh.
Utility.
Wait, guy, where did the body go? It disappeared.
3 on 2. Advantage SweetNSour.
Yeah, they may be over rotate with this one.
That neuro theft just helping out in the economy front for them. While the spike heads its way over, buried by Mosey.
Got a wall as well.
That should be easy enough.
Yeah, Hill comes up in 15.
Try and get it over the line. They've got an extra player in there. Front. As in, that's going to be tight.
Dom has double flash, so he can just flash Molsey to peek this.
Yeah,
gotta wait for the slow though, right?
As the slow expires, that's when he'll take the timing. Knife, not sure if it actually caught Soulcast there. No. All players coming in through Link.
One more flash if they want a double swing.
There's a low peek out, a simple flash.
Okay, nicely done. And I think Tempo was full blind for that kill. Not entirely sure.
The wingman was already working on the spike in the meantime.
I like this though. It was 4v5 and they decided to be proactive. Right, the 2-person duel over towards here. Took a little bit of a risk. Tried to get some map control back.
That's more. It's just you can't call it early enough until that side swap comes through.
And they are so wrecked though, money-wise.
as they find themselves
honestly,
before
it
Apeks
might be a
once
swing
again.
round.
Coming into that group stage matchup, both
that'll be
teams
fine.
were 4-0. It was the following 3 games which SweetNSour failed to convert, however, which left a bad taste in the mouth, a general bad feeling into playoffs. Now that they've showed up, it's this grand final which has not gone their way.
Up through middle, somewhere different there.
Yeah, this is fast, but we've got 3 people here. The wall to block though, and he had no idea how close he was. Oh, wait, this is a nice hit. This is a nice hit, man. This is a nice round. Did they expect this guy close?
Completely wipe them out. There's a couple back, but I mean, it's still the advantage.
Oh my God.
Apeks. Oh, that's a lovely
Oh, he
combination.
just got out of there.
Really just
That was sick though.
But Athan is towards main, plays the discipline, looks to hoard more kills than he could maybe carry.
Oh, the
Kayak
shots
is
are not
laboured
here.
on that first fight.
The shots are
Flashed
not
up,
here.
Hype
Oh,
is there
man.
to save the day. A 6th for Apeks secured.
Yeah,
and
they
the
got
second half
gifted this
now,
round.
The advantage, how far do you build it?
Yeah, exactly. That's now the key point. This could be a 9-3 half for Apeks. They have the key tools to do it. You're looking at the ultimates that they're starting to come back into. The economy of SweetNSour starting to fall apart. It is the perfect
Oh yeah, it really did fall
chaos.
apart here.
But it's Apeks that are actually benefiting from it, has a perfect storm.
It really is. And SweetNSour have no antidote, to what is proving to be a lethal injection from Apeks. So many tools from which to work on the A play, but they take their time. It's just so casual, the walk up.
Oh really, Saint?
Kayak a player
Yeah,
as well,
it's a
which,
nice
coming
round.
Into this one, you wouldn't
Yeah,
exactly
just-
say you'd
man,
expect to see him on an
The more I
initiator
watch
or
Sage on this
something
map,
like
I'm
that,
like,
but
man,
the guy's always there to
big
roll up
believer
his
in
sleeves
Sage
and
on
do
this
the
map.
work. Has lineups
Just makes
for
a
the
lot of
site
sense when
execute,
everyone
but
plays
instead it's the
retake like
DZ
this.
Over the top this time. Mosh Pit still available, as is the wingman with the plant coming through.
And I guess it's the same thing with something you wouldn't expect to see them on the Gecko, and the shots from the Fams are just not as good. Look at this, Apeks, they just go fit, searching, and they find it every single time. At least it's a rifle recover though, but the utility just so
Oi, much better with the shots here. And another?
Maybe
Damn,
something
bro.
different.
Gotta
Maybe
solo win
something
this,
to
dude.
think
They
about.
have to win
Just
this.
think it's around
Gotta
this
win this
going away.
2v1.
SweetNSour
The solid
fought back.
reposition. They just cleared here. He
It
might
is
be good for at
Mossy.
least
It is
one. Oh, they're
fourth
gonna
year
line
of
up.
competition,
Whoa.
11 in total, 5 from the game that came before, but still the most experienced head on the set of shoulders that you could possibly ask
Whoa.
to haul you through. He's out of bullets, but Creamy may just be out of time and out of luck because
Come on, man,
Mossy
give him a
has
round or
managed to
something.
take them through.
That was savage, dude. It
Thrifty
was
Waters
great idea
that were
from him, just
encircling
instantly
with SweetNSour,
going to where they've
but
cleared
the
as well.
7th will come all the same, and they're poised for more with every
And now they
single
have 5
ult you
ults
could
as well.
possibly ask.
Yeah, the advantage will be guaranteed for Apeks. That's the thing about SweetNSour.
Sonia, thank you so much. Thank you for the 9
fact
months.
that they can claw these
Appreciate
ecos
that.
back. They can claw Thrifties out of pull Thrifties out of nowhere. But again, it's the ultimate game
Much.
which Apeks hold full control of over SweetNSour. Anything that
This one's
SweetNSour
gonna be
can
mental,
throw,
right?
Apeks
With this
can
many
throw
ults.
through back.
SweetNSour trying to create aggression, but without taking down the Viper Orb. There's no real way in. Sure, you have the one way, but
Yeah,
it's
they've
the
been
threat that
struggling
lays
to play
behind
against
it.
some of this A
Cloak
control.
and dagger stuff. Already replenishing this second dark cover. Aphon has made his mark known so
I mean,
far
as soon as
in
the smoke
this
goes up, this guy's just wrecked.
decider map of the series in effect.
Poison orb emitting.
Not quite hot under the collar just yet. There's a pack of players that are walking about the map on the SweetNSour side, looking to instigate a fight which has evaded them thus far.
Pings circling around the A site from SweetNSour. They seem to have an idea about where Apeks want to go.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
the
I
issue
hate
is,
that angle
you
to
might
hold
have
like that.
ideas, Hazza, but it's about the gunfights. It's
Yeah.
a game, it's a FPS game at the end of the day. And you're
Oh my god, look at the
getting
util
shot
sending it
dead.
over.
That's exactly
Flying
what
in.
happens. And it's such a common angle as well.
And
SweetNSour have already played this one.
this guy is committing.
From it. Apeks
I mean,
cognizant
respect,
of
they
that
have numbers
fact,
here,
and now
but-
on towards the site exec itself. Soulcast is getting himself
Yeah, I
another.
mean, they need to try everything at
Potential
the moment.
perhaps for a Vova walled up, and he is, but thrown over the edge in the process. Famzam doesn't get the kill. The ult is offline.
There's
but
no way
Soulcast
he's allowed
is
to do
here
that.
stay. To call him a player within the tier 2 circuit is
I don't know where
almost
the flash went, though.
disrespectful because he's
I'll
just
say
that
that much.
damn good.
Where did my flash go
I mean,
here?
that's the thing though, Hazard, the quality, the prowess, the sheer talent that these players have. Sure, a couple of them
Yeah,
might
they
have
just
had
farm this region, they
bad
really do.
couple of results, but no way did the likes of Soulcast deserve to be relegated to tier 2. No wonder Apeks snatched them up so quickly. And the thing is though as well about Apeks Hazard in that last round, they've only used 2 of their ultimates. We're in the last round and they have 3 in the back to use.
Cover going out.
The only time that you hear the word second next to Soulcast's name is when you're talking about the tier of play. Both him and Kayak tied for top ACS involvement.
Look at the util dump.
Everything else that goes with
They're
it.
so ready for this.
Infallible thus far. It's Hype
Wait, they
that
were
leads
so
the charge.
ready for this.
One of the many torchbearers that can take them forwards. Step ups every side of the server.
Man, this
that
smoke
you
over
look.
towards A has caused them
8 kills picked
so
up,
much
they sit
trouble.
on it, they go quiet, and that silence is the most worrying thing for SweetNSour because now they feel they've got to make their own move.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Go crash in, that's the initiation, but
I like the stage, yeah, this is my favourite comp on this map.
That's enough for them. Creamy's tried to get cheeky, and while the players in CT are completely caught, Ethan trying to hold down, trying to
Dom, man. Dom, stop. Stop doing this. He's just running at them.
The Viper's pit, just everything being sent towards SweetNSour. They've not got a blooming chance.
It's outrageous, bro. Yeah, SNS really would have benefited from just like Omen holding this angle like the whole time.
Look, I don't find
Because
myself too surprised to be saying this.
I think they
For
could have
me,
just
again,
Omen held
the
this,
series
and then
lived
obviously if this
died
guy gets pushed
on
off, then you can
Lotus.
just kind of flash or TP out.
Apeks
I don't know,
adding
they had to take
another
more of a
nail
risk here.
to a coffin,
You
which
could,
looks
I
like
feel
a
like you could always get
carpenter's
one
workbench at this
TP
point.
out and then flash and then duel,
SweetNSour
or
have been
actually
through it,
manage
and
to
I
get
think
out of
this
there.
may just be as
Don't know
far
what the
as you
timing's
get.
like with it,
Not without
but
a pistol, that's for certain.
like this smoke just wrecked them the whole game.
I mean, that's it, mate. I mean,
I liked it from Apeks as well. It's similar to, it's very similar to how Paper X played this the first time I saw it, where it's like in theory this comp struggles to go over towards B, but they just B hit all the time at the beginning with the wall.
For your second place team against the top.
The writing's been on the wall every
I
single
just think this
time.
comp
It's
is
so hard
further
not to
ahead
just
than all
say
the
it
other
as it
comps
is.
because people
Again, to be
People,
completely candid,
people
Apeks
always
are
do.
proving why we have them a class above.
Oh my goodness.
Of over.
People will always
Troublesome
play
situation
one
for
side
him here
retake, and then
though, and
if there's
that
a stage setup, it's
uncharacteristic
MVP.
Entry pick means that
Maybe a
Tyson
pistol
back
hero.
gets his second of the round.
It does
but
struggle a
it's
little
not
bit on
done
defense,
yet.
the fact you have no info sentinel though, so this is their chance.
Just looking to double
They gotta win this
tap
pistol
there
though, and I'm
it is.
so
There we
worried
go.
for him.
The player's peeking out, can't get more than 2 though. And it goes back to height. Once again, tries to deny the spike.
Yeah, but you just gotta accept the spikes
There we
going down
have
there,
it.
try to get some space.
SweetNSour, they get off to a great start.
Pissed around, gap close to 5. But still, plenty to be filled in. We can't get the Sliggy pen out just yet. It's the time we're at the other side of the bonus that we can think about how many chances they realistically have here.
Yeah.
A couple of sheriffs in play, but not much else for Apeks.
Yeah,
I think
not much else,
Clove,
but has
the Sage comp, I mean, you would have too many,
a stick or something, you know.
you'd have too many
It's like
smokes.
watching John Wick.
But I get what you're saying.
Pistols
I
can
like the
still hit.
idea. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, where you can just like heavy commit one.
Hype trying to administer something there.
I think Clove needs like
Also the one which could make
a
that
sentinel that
worse.
has util to play over towards the
Range
site
down
though.
to 1 HP, Death Store. Apeks not yet crossing that threshold though, and the site itself opted against it.
He is, speaking of the most dangerous man in the
Well,
server,
that's a big kill. We can
Kayak
Omen
gets
smoke this. We've got
Veto
1 minute
over,
left,
though.
and if they force, he has
the
something.
one that
Wait.
strikes first. Oh my god, no way.
Oh
Oh,
man.
it could have been perfect.
Yeah, he should have
You
had
saw
that.
him with the paranoia in hands, just
They
charging up
got
the
away-
opportunity,
got
but
away
the
with one
scales
here.
are outweighed this time. SweetNSour, another important kill. Their first on the round, in fact. Hype is still just about alive, and in proxy, his Viper utility will be working the B site, the wall that is. 2 players spotted. Do they expect the second couple?
Oh, the fact that it's the Gecko as well, that's your clearing utility. If they walk that stride like it seems to be.
Man, dude, look how calm he is with it.
It's unreal.
Didn't even move his crosshair.
Elbow and the headshot is not enough. Spike will go down. There's a remaining 2 of Mosey and Height to
Yeah.
come in.
I mean, key thing, Afen down to 45. You're within body shot range here as well. So Famzam has to be the mainstay. Not quite a gap on the smoke to show for it just yet. And a wall in hand. And
I think
sure,
Sage,
Afen has
he'll
the
need
power,
to buff. Nah.
it doesn't count for
Fine.
much in this kind of position. Still a chance that Hype can clutch this out.
I think Sage is in a really good spot. Again, Sage works well against... The K-Corp game is the perfect example, right? If a team struggles with mid-rounding, they'll struggle against the Sage on attack.
Scrapes him over the line. Again, as we said, we pointed it out. At any point, Apeks can have a chance to win it out. You should never underestimate the pistols that they have. They were
Looking like a young Scream up there. Yeah, these shots were
Sweet
lovely.
and Sour still a gap to be closed, and they will continue.
They really could
to do it.
snowball
You
this a
can
little bit
only
if they
win
want
the
to use the
round
sword
that's
into
in front
it.
of you. That has to be the mindset. In terms of thinking towards the next couple, though, do you want to invest the Thrash here? Do they build the round around the outside of it? Maybe.
You've got to be throwing everything you can to upset the balance against Apeks. Already Hype having to drop to the back of sight. Supported
Yeah,
by
early
Mozo.
control, they get a bit of info in terms of seeing the
No
smoke over
illusions as to
towards
how
B.
important this one is.
Obviously, they hit the Viper, so they knew that Viper was here anyway in terms of the
Current in this
knife,
one,
but
not be
they were good
devalued
to know
by
where the
the
smoke is
situation.
for the setup.
Avova, aggressive, but not exactly outside of his means. That's the biggest thing that we
Fish
can always
to
say. Famzam
check
Thrash
and
is
push
going
back someone over
absolutely
towards
nowhere.
A, and they
Look at that,
actually
hard time
fully
running
send
that way.
it
In
and
fact,
use it
where
as a
he's going
fake.
to.
As we can see,
Hasn't
we
quite
pull
sold.
one
Fake still
rotate
to
over
zero
from
for
mid,
two
but that's
active.
about it.
Hype already getting his first.
Yeah, now what?
Nosy coming in to
Oh.
support, although
Tempo, that's
when you think
really
Tempo
bold,
takes
man.
the back of sight, they've got
That's
no
really,
chance of
really
being
bold.
stabbed through walls. They're not even seeing the gunfights that they wanted to take. Finally, the rest of the players get out, but it's
I mean, solid hold on this one. They
absolutely
definitely took a
flawless
few risks. It
indeed.
is a bonus though, so can't be too angry.
Holy from Hype. Sovereign in his hands. And there is no doubt about the sovereignty of the Apeks clan. 10 on the board, twice the rounds. And I think Sweet and Sour just.
I really don't think Sage
overcomplicating
needs
it a
any
little bit too
changes.
much.
I think
There's
Sage is
no
in a great
second layer
spot.
to that early, thrash that we saw come through, or in the mid round, I should say. Well, Apeks are a little bit top heavy in terms of the kill department. Everyone has found their place in this map so far. And the game that Sweet and Sour are trying to play just isn't working out.
Tasty paranoid, doesn't want to walk any further, but is that to their own detriment? It is.
Yeah,
They
big
tried
buy
to
around. They got to
get
eco after,
something
and we're
here.
just getting freakos over towards
They
sides.
look to drive the
Yeah,
stake
heavy
through
A
Sweet
shutdown.
and
And
Sour.
what
There's
is that
no
molly
way
hit?
that they're being allowed to
Wait,
get
that's a
up to
nice
board
molly.
without feeling
We really,
without
we really have a
feeling
cross map
pain.
molly
That's
from this
exactly
corner
what
that lands
happens
here.
Tempo now left
That's
to
wild. Got a little bit unlucky with the bounce,
too
but
many players, and here comes Mosey to send them back
pretty cool.
to heaven.
It finishes flawless. Within 2 rounds now. And that was when the guns did come out for Sweet and Sour. Not even a moment's notice to lick your wounds and stem the bleeding. They're hemorrhaging here as Apeks continue to clip at the heels. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And this round is what you've got to save face, to save the series.
The Paul
to
molly, yeah,
stop
that's true. The one
championship
that was a
points.
sick molly. You're not wrong.
Well, Ticey being the player to do it as well, who's led at the front line so much.
I think the big thing for Apeks, though, is that this is a different class of map because it's
Yeah.
literally just the individuals. They're taking solo fights. That is where Sweet and Sour can punish, and they already have done through Market.
Okay, and
Ticey's
Soulcast.
Vandal working out,
Bro
showstopper
just stands
out,
still.
up
Bro is an
and
actual
on
turret when I
lane.
watch him.
Although Soulcast's Vandal
Yeah,
not working
should have
the
been
way
taken
it
down
has
there,
been
though.
throughout most of the series.
Stand still in the
Madeline
open. It's a lovely
perspective
nade to
down
stop the
very
plant.
safe passage.
Yeah, nearly
Mighty
worked.
nearly pushed Afen off the plant there as well, but they do get it down 3 on 3. Still,
Definitely should have gone
Apeks
down,
with
though.
advantages. Afen
There's a big
reclaims
aim
the
diff
rifle,
in a lot of these
and out
rounds.
The other side of the smoke is not going to be blinded up. But in fact, oh, doesn't pull the trigger. Didn't get the
Oh
squeeze.
man.
And a quick shakedown.
Yeah, he wanted
Sweet
to.
and Sour
He wanted
first
to, and then
for
I'm
all
pretty
their
sure
work.
this guy saw
Coming up
his gun,
empty-handed
the
once
barrel of his
more.
gun, just in
Apeks
his
take it
face,
to
and then he's like,
12,
"Wait, what
and they're
the?"
right back on the brink.
Either that, or is the
No
fact that he was
way
getting
that they
blocked.
will kayak
He
the
knows that.
opportunity
He knows that he
to
shouldn't be
swivel
getting
round
blocked
like
there.
that. I feel
feel as if I'm back in Champs and watching, was it the Loud DG match?
Dude, there's
That's so
no way
funny.
that he's played the
That might be
discipline
one of my
now.
worst sevens, but there we go.
Rito, please fix
7 chances.
UI bug. He was blinded. I'm coping right now because SweetNSour.
Blinded? No, he wasn't blinded. He wasn't. He just wanted to.
Tie this one back up at the seams. Apeks the ones with history awaiting them, 1 round away, and they have the needle and thread at the tapestry.
And they are running it down.
They're
Running it down over towards A. Official goes in, follow it up.
Apeks control and most
All
of the
map
map.
control.
You look towards there, you've seen how deep Kayak is in towards the SweetNSour territory. Hafen worried about that push on A main and whether Kayak has actually gone. Maybe tried to cut off rotates, but not going to be given the opportunity.
Four-on-4 situation. Kayak in through middle. The boy from East who could end it all in the north. First picked up. Nothing more than that.
Alright.
All she wrote in this situation.
Switching
A chance
guns.
for SweetNSour to stabilize, but the rotation has been called.
Still, the spike so far away, and it's allowed Apeks to get in prime position to flood the site. Soulcast just hanging back in case it is the fake.
30 seconds left.
There is 2 here. Well aware, the wingman goes in. It's going to be 3v2. Spike denied. They can't get it down.
That's
Time's so
huge.
low.
Yeah, and then the
SweetNSour
distraction
have
on
to
this
force
one,
their way
and we
out.
pluck him out
Try
the
to
air.
find a way, but it's not. It's the
Yeah,
moment he
1v3
can
to
do
finish
it.
this.
Spike
Spike down 10 seconds, all goes
No
out.
chance for SweetNSour.
Well, they didn't
The
lose a map,
Naughty
the whole
Neighbours
split.
have been silenced, and Apeks are your champions of split 1.
But yeah, it kind of looked easy for them. There was a big aim diff for sure as well. That's a nice. They got some nice stuff in terms of the cross map mollies as well.
The new roster has returned. Those champions who went to Berlin across the continent never came back, but in their place, 5 more players to step up to the plate, and they have over-delivered. Not a single map lost.
Interview?
And
Yeah,
that
we'll do
one
the
piece,
interview.
Split 1
We got
concludes
some
with
time
them,
here.
your champions.
We'll do the
I
interview.
mean, that's the thing though, Hazza. A lot of people will try to steal away the highlight, the quality that is on this roster, but they have proven it so many times, time and time again. And it's not as if they haven't been put in difficult positions. We've seen it. OnlyFins, SweetNSour, they've put the pressure on mentally in the server. And I mean, at the same time, Apeks have answered every single challenge that has been put
Yeah,
on their plate.
I'll stick for the interview. We'll raid someone, and then we'll be back for Americas in 2 hours.
An MVP performance for him, even in the finals.
Nah, I'm gonna go
But
eat,
even
Fio.
that last map, it didn't
It's
even
tempting.
look like the macro game was too crazy
Tempting, but
for
I'm gonna
Apex.
eat.
They were just killing them. That's pretty much it, right? And as we conclude this
Too
one
much
as
for
well,
Super
there's
Week,
only
bro. I
one thing
gotta-
left to be said, that Apex
The potential
not only
of
have
it
won,
getting.
but I think we can
If
also
we start
really
getting
be
2-1s in
proud
Americas,
to
then I
represent
start
the
getting
region.
wrecked.
Not just for what the organization have done and how good the team is, but yeah, that backing that they continually put into Polaris, and we can only hope that as
What's
this one
Super Week? It's
continues,
just
that
in
things get
Americas
better. Not
they
just for them,
have
but for
10 games
everyone else.
instead of
Yeah,
5.
exactly. The personalities, and hey, listen, there's still so many quality rosters. This is a developing region, Hazza. We've had
Yeah, I gotta
OnlyFins come
move
through,
around, say,
unsigned,
man. I gotta move around.
SweetNSour unsigned, Metasport, sure they're putting in a bit of investment there, but there's still so many more that we've not spoken about. There's such a
Lev?
bright
Oh, yeah,
future.
Lev saved
This
me
is
yesterday.
only split 1 of 2024.
Watch this space. Polaris is in progress, but for now, it is perfection from Apeks. We're going to head to a break, but when we return, the analysts to break it all down and roll out the ticker tape for your new champions.
Spike down A.
No, there was no shady business for me to get extra sleep. Don't worry. Hello, Ryan. Ryan, there's an interview, right? There is? Okay. Then we're sticking around for that. Got the hard-hitting questions? Okay, love that. Who, do you know who you're interviewing? So I watched many tier 2 games. I mean, last year I watched loads. This year, not as much. I think with the addition of like China, if I'm gonna watch any VODs and stuff, it should probably be the Chinese games. Is it over for NRG? Nah, it's fine. You can just get outplayed like this. I think their bind looks great though, I'll say that much. How come EMEA does not have a super week? I mean, they have a different approach. All of the regions have a different approach. We got Pacific that play, what, 8 games or something? You got Americas that play 5 games every week, and then they just have a super week where they just smash out everyone's playing twice. And then you got EMEA where we have like 1 team each week playing twice. Got 3 different approaches. Which ones I think is best? Not even sure, man. Maybe EMEA? Is it better to do a super week and smash it all out? I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think that's very true from Matty. America's that one day where they get everyone in, you might as well play 2 games. I agree for that. Have I watched American Challenges? Not enough, nah. I've tuned into like a few rounds, that's honestly it. And then I've been checking some of the results. Yeah, because you might as why would you go for just 1 game? Especially if the 1 game isn't like an absolute banger. How good is EMEA tier 2? It's pretty stacked. Definitely some of like the regions are a little bit better in terms of like the Turkish tier 2 is wild. Like it's really good there. Oh, dog, what's up, bro? Of course not, don't you worry. You think America's challenge is more stacked than EMEA? In terms of like higher level, I don't think there's as many top teams, but I think the teams are at a higher level. So yeah, it depends on how you look at it. I have rights for NA challenges? Yes. Yeah, EMEA gets wrecked because of the region lock. We have a region lock thing. Or a country lock, I guess we should say.
A perfect map, a perfect series, a perfect tournament for Apeks. 21 maps won, 0 lost in stage 1.
That's silly.
The Northern Europe champions, and Marcus, they did it in a way that we'd sort of expect them to. Not close at all, unfortunately, for SweetNSour.
Yeah, again, it was that second map I think that was gonna decide the tempo for this series, right? Like the first map, Icebox, it was expected to go in the favor of Apeks. It was Lotus where we were like, okay, if something's gonna happen, it's got to happen now, because at least then it would have given them a chance to get to Breeze, which was our 4th map. And yes, SweetNSour are unbeaten on that map, but it didn't get that far because 13.
KPI, I haven't watched enough of them.
4, 13.
Looks like they got some up-and-coming players, though, that I should probably be checking out.
That's crazy. A total of, what's that, 15 rounds dropped in 3 games is absolutely incredible. And they
Will I be going to the venue for playoffs?
Every step of the way, they've deserved.
I got offered to,
sure.
but I
mean,
want to
it's
watch all the
probably
regions, and it's like normally like an 18-hour day, and
grand
it would just get
we've
wrecked
seen in Valorant
if
at
I
this point,
added travel
with
into
Apeks
that.
looking as good as they did. But like, to be fair, I think your like expectations are really in order when you look at both these teams. Apeks, they invested a lot.
That's
into
normally
Valorant
like the
last
longest
year.
streams that I do, is like the
One win
playoff
away
days
from
when it's all
making
4 of the regions on the
EMEA's
weekend.
Tier 1 International League. And they've invested hard again, picking up
Flat
young
chat,
talent
maybe
from other
Thursday
regions that
is
were
when
playing in
is
Tier 2
when
last
it's
year,
potentially
but also
on.
a lot of Tier 1 players.
I actually
from the
need to
likes of
message back her. I
Liquid,
keep ignoring him.
Vitality, Heretics, Hype that's been consistently in this league as well. Like, Apeks are investing a lot of money and resources into getting into that level. SweetNSour, it's their first ever like proper tournament, so I think that's worth saying. But we do have an interview. We've got the head coach, the main person behind the success of Apeks for this stage, Danito. First of all, congratulations. What does it mean to you that it's been done perfectly, that you haven't dropped a map at all? Is that important to you at all, or is that just kind of like the cherry on top?
First of all, thank you for having me. What does it mean? It's a well-played season. I mean, split from us, you know, it was a good grand final. It was actually very chaotic at some times, you know, but I'm happy that we managed to call it in a good fashion and went undefeated. And yeah, that's the most important thing in the end.
I'm super happy for you guys, because obviously last year we had such a close. I say close. It was dominant the whole season, right up until the end. But as an organization for you guys, I'm super happy that you're once again performing at this level. My question for you is pretty much when you're practicing, right, throughout the week, are you going up against teams like SweetNSour or of that level, or are you guys going up against Tier 1 teams to get your practice in?
We focus only on scrimming VCT teams and top tier 2 teams, you know. So we're measuring our performance mainly in scrims because when Ascension comes, teams are going to be really good, and we need to be ready for that.
That's actually a good question, because I think that when you do so dominantly here, you've won 13-0 in a couple of these series that you've played so far in stage 1. Are you like, this is a great testament to how good we are, that we are dominant in our region? Or are you, be honest, like sitting there going, man, I wish we were being challenged harder here. This is almost too easy and too straightforward. Because you're right, like the goal is Ascension, right? So doing well in this stage, it's important to get there, but ultimately you're looking almost past Polaris to an extent.
I mean, the league looks like that because not that the teams are bad, it's just that I think that we are on a very good level at the moment. Everyone is giving their best. Apeks as an org is giving like full support to us, and we cannot like ask for more. So everyone is doing their part, you know, so we are a unit as a team, so yeah, it's a team effort always, so yeah.
I guess the other aspect of it too is that you and kind of Desma to an extent are the only people that were on the Apeks team last year, right? Even your like manager's different because like you made changes there, but is it feeling different this year in comparison to last? Like you've got brand new players in, players that played in tier 1, some of them that are eager to prove that they deserve to be there. Like how does it feel now in comparison to like this time last year where you were an assistant coach?
I mean, to be honest, it feels the same, not gonna lie. Like our philosophy of Apeks, it's a family org, so we want to have an open space for everyone, you know. And we're, as I said, like we're a unit. That was last year as well, and it's this year, you know. It's feeling like the same, you know. Everyone are super open. Where there is a problem, we always discuss it, you know, openly. Nobody is afraid to express themselves, and that's what moves the team forward in the end, in my opinion, you know. So I'm really happy that we managed to build that, because this is built, you know. You don't get that for free. You need to build it with the right persons.
For sure. You've got so many like great players on your team, like some like Soulcast, who's had probably MVP of the whole stage. He was MVP of groups, but has continued that. Bringing in
He's
players
amazing.
like Kayak, Yeah, but it's like even like Evolva was having a lot of fun. It felt today with some of the clutch moments. You could highlight everybody individually, but I want to specifically talk about Hype because he's a player that has been in tier 2 for ages, has been in tier 1 briefly in spats here, there, and everywhere. Like, what is it that he has brought to the team? Because it feels like he should be amongst the Soul Casses and Evolvas name-wise to be like, yeah, this guy deserves to be in tier 1 EMEA.
I think like he's unleashed right now, you know. He had an amazing game. I'm really happy with his performance recently, and I think like the atmosphere is giving the players confidence, you know, to believe in themselves, to trust their teammates, and this is how players shine, you know. When you have good environment where we're on the same page always. And yeah, we have this controlled freedom in our team where we can do crazy stuff, but not so much, right? And yeah.
I think final question then, because you talked about like the scrims that you're having against like tier 1 teams, looking at Ascension. Like at this point, is it taking the foot off the brakes a little bit now that you've won the stage? You've got a couple of weeks before stage 2 starts up again, or are you like, this is the part where we can't get complacent? Like, what is Apeks going to be like over the next month when it comes to preparation? Are you gonna have a bit of a break because you've been going hard, or is this just kind of the beginning?
I mean, we're going to take some time off right now after this final, but the goals stay the same. It's nothing going to change for us. We want to be better every day, and this is going to be until September. As I said to my players, we need to be at our best in September. We don't need to be now. We need to be at our best in Split 2, because this is where everything is going to matter a lot, you know. And the goal is like this, you know. We evolve. We get better every day, and that's it.
Very fair.
Yeah, makes
Congratulations
sense.
again, not only winning the grand final, but like making history by not dropping a map the whole stage. Like, enjoy your time off, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you very soon in stage 2.
Thank you for having me, guys, and see you again in Split 2.
See you in Split 2.
See you. Bye-bye.
All
right.
It's always nice to see like Danny as well, because I know him from before he was coaching.
wasn't the closest game, but I think that was kind of expected anyway.
Climb up the scene
And
like
hopefully,
that
if stuff works out, we'll be able to check
really. But we're
next
not quite
split.
done.
Maybe
I think when it comes
if
to, like, looking at the series, there's a couple of other
the
things
season
we wanna
isn't
highlight.
as packed,
Not
we can
only
maybe
from
check in
how
some
well,
tier
like,
2
Apeks
Americas
looked in
as
a
well
lot
at
of
one
those
point.
rounds, but I do
Who
wanna
should we
give
raid?
SweetNSour
I
their
could maybe
roses a
raid
little bit.
Monster.
Like,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
down to raid
dominant
Monster. What's his
final at the end
what's
of
his stream?
losing, but still,
Give me his Twitch
expectations.
name.
This is an unsigned team that has zero
Apex
expectation
destroyed them.
playing
Yeah, they
for
kind
us
of just
up
destroyed
until
the
this
season for
split.
sure.
And a top 2 finish, no matter how that final goes, is still a hell of a
Dom?
testament.
I mean, Dom was always going to keep improving,
Yeah,
man.
you
He's
can't
a
keep
good
it
work
right.
ethic
It's
person.
super
He's
annoying
like,
that we have so much
he works hard,
talent
and he's
in
always
Paris.
very
So
critical of his
so
own
difficult to be
performance.
able to actually
So he's always someone that
get
goes out of his way
motivation,
to
attention,
perform,
right? But I feel
so
like if
and improve.
SweetNSour can find
The work
some
ethic
form of
wise, like he
backing,
was always
get
gonna.
some form of structure behind
He's still
it. I'm
young,
not
bro.
saying
He's
they have
always
structure, but
gonna get better and better.
from an org's point of view, right? If there is that little bit of extra motivation, I think these guys could definitely go all the way. Potentially, when Apeks have
He was
moved
always
out,
one of the best work
but,
ethics in our team.
You know, I reckon
When,
next
not if.
when.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I reckon they could.
Chat, we're gonna end it here. We're
top
gonna
this one
raid
Apeks
Monster,
have.
and then if people are around
Yeah, I
in,
wanted
what's
to
the
say real
time?
quick as well,
Go
the
around
fact
in
that
2
there's
hours.
been
We'll
other
be
top
watching
tier
Americas as
two
well.
Teams, like from the other,
So
like,
if you want to
rounds
check
of
out
the league,
Americas,
I mean, they're
then
not
come
afraid
join
to
us.
sort of show themselves up against regions that they might be playing for
Yeah, in
Ascension.
Ascension.
The other thing too, it was mentioned.
Okay,
today
thanks so much
by,
for watching, everyone.
Comic.
Thank you,
I don't
thank
know
you. We'll
why
see
I'm
you in a
naming
little
people
bit.
from
Enjoy,
IDing people from Riot.
enjoy
Riot,
whatever
John
you're gonna
Riot
do in,
announced that there is
in a
gonna be
few hours.
play-ins for EMEA Ascension this year. So like,
And finish in 2 hours? Nah,
in a good position to
surely we
fight
get a
for
third
that.
map
And
today.
honestly, with
C900
how,
Thieves is going third
like,
map at least, at the
surprisingly
very
strong that they
least.
can look with this little like prep time, I suppose. Like play-ins could be something.
All right, take it easy, everyone. Peace, peace, peace.
Guys in the future.
Yeah, it's like
See,
the Falcons
see you in a little
last
bit.
year, right? Obviously
Yeah,
moved to Zach now, but they obviously took the second spot from our region, and they won.
Twitch chat. Thank you as well.
But-
See you all soon. Peace.
They're so talented, right? They're so talented, and obviously we unfortunately don't have them in our league anymore. We might see them in Ascension, but yeah, no, SweetNSour